Little bassy voice for you, some rider pride. It's Thursday, SportsCage. 1 day closer to the Grey Cup in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Thanks for making some time today. However you are listening or watching the show. If you're watching through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com, you see the new SportsCage hat I'm wearing? Oh yeah, thanks to the SJHL for those. They are there isn't many of them, and we're going to get to how you can win one of these every time we do the SJHL Report coming up, which is coming up today. You can also listen to us on all the streams, of course, 620 CKRM on your radio dial. Thanks for making some time. All of our guests are going to join us on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline. Get your pre-orders in for Sunday. Talked to Spiro this morning. He said they are coming in. You can do it online, or you can call any of the Western Pizzas. Also, we want you to participate in the program today, 936-6262. That is the number for the Prairieland Rentals text line. Prairieland Rentals, 600 Albert Street in Regina. Anything you need for that fall or winter job, whether it's a heater, a power tool of some sort, they can rent it to you. And then when the snow starts flying, your official Husqvarna snow thrower dealer. It's for Access Communications. On Thursday, like it always is, Access Communications, trusted in rural Saskatchewan for internet, TV, and home security. And then Thursdays, my co-host is here. Next week he's on Wednesdays, but he's here Thursday. Sharky is in the house, and Sharky is brought to you by
Flooring Superstore. He's putting the new flooring in the basement, in the back porch. Really excited about it.
You've been doing it?
They're coming.
They're coming.
They're coming.
You're not bending over.
No.
I was going to say, how's your lumbar?
No, I'm not doing it. There's no way I'm involved in that. They're going to put it in, and I'm looking forward to it.
Well,
happy life.
Well, Sharky, we're getting closer.
Yeah. Got my jersey on.
You do have your jersey. Again, people watching the stream, you see it. 81, who's the player on the back?
Mitch Picton.
Picton.
Yeah.
Picton. Mitch, I don't know if Mitch is going to be on the 45.
He'd be close.
45-man roster, yeah.
Close.
You know what? Let's talk about them getting there, because we haven't talked since last week.
No.
And now the hype that's around it. I'm sure you have a lot of people that are either now locked and loaded. We're going. We're leaving today. We're leaving tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're going. Or do you have some people still on the fence and wondering?
Lots of people are still searching. Hotel rooms are the biggest issue, right? You can't get a hotel room for under $1,000 in Winnipeg, right?
No, that is false.
Well,
but anyway,
that's the story, the rampant story out there. Mm-hmm. There's still people talking about it. There's lots that are planning parties, mm-hmm. right? So I think there's already 3 or 4 parties on the go. Checking in about reservations in sports bars and pubs. So
yes.
Yeah, there's lots of activity, lots of excitement, without a doubt, for everybody for Sunday. All
right, we've been doing this all week. Now I'm going to give you an update. Here it is. Grey Cup update brought to you by our new hats. Tickets for the game, as of 5 minutes ago, on the secondary site that I've been looking at all week, are down.
Really?
Up 2 upper deck seats were, let's recap, on Tuesday they were $210. Yesterday, $220. Today, 2 tickets, upper decks, $195.
So somebody's worried about inventory.
And I think as we get closer, they're going to drop even more. As for lower bowls, on Tuesday they were $274. Yesterday they were $270. Today, $250.
They're coming down as well. Nice.
Okay, now the only other problem is the hotel that I was looking at, central location. I've stayed there. Not a bad hotel. Little weird. If you're listening to the show yesterday, it's weird, but not a bad place. You're not going to get bed bugs. That hotel was...
That's the minimum standard for you, is bed bugs? Is that where
and I like a nice continental breakfast, too. I'm not going to lie. What are they running on the breakfast? A bag, egg, and a hash brown?
Yeah.
Some sausages?
Not the sausage patty. The sausages.
I don't mind the sausage patty at all.
Okay,
all
right.
Little pepper on there.
That thin bacon they serve, though, is terrible.
My continental breakfast.
Yeah.
Tier 1s.
Yep.
Div 1. Continental breakfast for me, if they have salsa.
Really? That's the switch, is it?
Salsa and eggs, man.
It's good.
I crush town.
It's very good. Yeah.
So if you got a continental breakfast in Winnipeg right now, so the hotel that I was giving people for Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night was $1,028 for all three. Not bad.
For all
three nights, yeah.
Okay.
Now that one is sold out.
Yes.
So I'm exploring some of the other ones. If you want to stay close to Polo Park, if you want to be in a trendy area, anywhere, if you're trying to stay where the Riders and some of the CFL people are saying, good luck.
Not happening.
But if you want to kind of get a little greasy, elbows up territory in Winnipeg,
you can do it.
You're still about $1,000, maybe $1,200
for the 3 nights.
For the 3 nights,
that's not bad.
Splitting it with a guy or girl. Ladies, if you're going to, you guys want to, and I don't know. I personally wouldn't sleep with anybody in a queen besides my wife, maybe my kids. But I know people, and if you got a sofa bed, I'm not even opposed to sneaking in an air mattress at this point for some people.
Or the cot. Is there a cot available?
Not a lot of hotels don't have cots anymore.
I know.
I've found over the last couple of years traveling with kids and being like, hey, I'm not going to be able to get to this tournament until Friday. Bunk in with you. We'll get a cot. Call there. Hey, do you guys have cots? No, we don't have cots.
Yeah, it's not a thing anymore. Where was that when we were playing hockey?
So you could fire an air mattress, an air mattress in it, whatever you want to do. So I'm just giving you guys now that are on the fence options. Tickets are going down. You can still stay in a decent hotel in Winnipeg. Lock the doors for sure, but you can stay there for around $1,200, $1,100
for 3 nights.
Grey Cup. Riders are in it, and the forecast. You heard our high paid weather guy sing the forecast.
He's very expensive.
It's going to be really good football weather.
It's going to be nicer than it was here for the West Final.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
So I think around kickoff, so the sun will just be going down. Around kickoff, I think you're going to be around 0,
which is fine.
And the coldest you might get is -4.
Yeah.
So we talked about a spray tan guy with low V-neck.
Yeah.
You're in play.
He's got a
You
shot.
don't have to bundle up like you did in Regina. Ladies that want to be seen, you're okay here.
You can do it.
So if that sways your decision to make the trek down the road to Winnipeg,
you can do it. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Tickets at $275, $250 in the lower bowl.
$250 lower bowl, all day long right now.
That's a great deal.
I want to give the site that I use, but they're not a sponsor, but people are smart. And then don't even Facebook Marketplace, Winnipeg. I'm sure you'll find some wild stuff on there. But if you're looking for Grey Cup tickets, you find those all day long too. Be careful what you're buying.
Be careful.
Be careful what you're transferring money to.
Yeah.
And I would advise against that. I would pay the extra $20, $30 and go legit
always
on a site.
Always.
For sure.
Legit. Always.
Hotel Jeff texting in 936-6262. Hotel prices are crazy for the weekend. We went to Vegas during WrestleMania and stayed at New York for $1,100 Canadian for 6 nights. Jeff in Regina. Jeff likes his wrestling.
Yeah, but this is the Grey Cup. It's not going to Vegas, right? It's a different scenario.
I think you can.
They got to make money while the sun shines.
They're reasonably priced hotels in Winnipeg, so we'll get more on that. The other thing I want people 936-6262. We did this last week. Great response and engagement. What's your hot take for the Grey Cup? I was just educating Sharky on what's a hot take.
Well, in reference to this particular scenario.
Hot take for the Grey Cup. Now, I don't need... You can have as many as you want today because you're sitting here with me. If you're texting this in, I will read it, leave your name, number, where you're from, but keep it short because I've mentioned this before. The screen is tough to read for me and my eyeballs. But just so if you can keep it short like Jeff just did...
Would you like the glasses?
20... No, that'll make it worse, man.
Okay. All right.
I need the Tom Hankey glasses. The Marcel Comos, as we used to call them. But yeah, 936-6262. What is your hot take for the Grey Cup this week? Is it AJ Ouellette rushes for blank yards? Is it Trevor Harris passes? Is it Jake Mayer gets into the game. Tommy Steve, like, whatever your hot take is on the game, let's hear it. 936-6262. First, I want to let's hear. You got Coach Mace ready there, Colson? Yep. Coach Mace sat down with our Dave Thomas. I had a chance to preview this interview earlier. Very interesting on the number of different things he talks about. Obviously, he's been to the game.
He has
before as a secondary coach, as a player, as whatnot.
Lots of experience.
Yeah, and you would grasp on that for sure,
without a doubt.
But now as a head coach,
it's a little different.
Things are different. Here's Dave Thomas and our head coach.
Coach, I got to ask questions for other people. I'm sorry. I know you don't like living in the past, but I want to go back to the West Final. This one is from my wife for you. When you decided to kick the field goal late in the game with Brett Lother as opposed to gambling, did you hear the boos from the crowd?
Oh, yeah, no, I definitely heard that. Yeah, I heard those.
Did you want to at any point look back and smile because she wanted to let you know that she was not viewing?
Oh, that's good. Well, you tell her she's always all right with me.
Done deal. Next question. Luke Mullender talked about, Dave, you've got to look at the little things that you don't understand that are happening behind the scenes. He goes, as a player, when you get to this stage, everything has changed from what you have to eat to where you're going to find another drink. How do you get your players ready for what they are encountering right now?
Yeah, I think just being upfront and honest for and giving the information that we know. Myself, other players who've been to this game, other coaches who've been a part of this week, just giving them anticipation that our routine's going to be shifted a little bit. We just got to be adaptable with our time, and then as far as food, obviously we get a couple meals at the facility each day. Encouraging these guys when they do go out, we got all the snacks and stuff for them, but when they do go out and get something to eat, make healthy choices. So we've given them lists of food, healthy choices to eat at the restaurants that are close to us to make sure they're fueling their bodies properly. But ultimately, it's just allowing those guys to have a little bit of independence and accountability, but also just keep the main focus of what we're here for.
Dante Myers alluded to the fact that perhaps his head was spinning a little bit. So he said, I'm just following the leader. You got a pretty good leadership group to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's so many guys on our team that have been a part of this week and or have come out of this week with a ring. So it's even going back to my first years being a part of it. I did the same thing Dante was doing. I said, oh man, look, I'm just following. I think as athletes and specifically football and what we do is everything is just so hard routine based to the minute. So when there's a little bit of change, it can keep guys getting a little anxiety. Like, am I late for something? But I thought we did a good job giving these guys, to the minute schedules for them to follow to get good guidelines. But ultimately, you follow the leaders, you'll be in good positions.
In John Gibbons' book, former manager of the Toronto Blue Jays, he talked about the balance between analytics and the numbers and to the gut feel that you have. How much do you rely on either of the two when it comes to setting the schedule for this week to prepare for Sunday?
Yeah, I think experience was a big one, for us, being able to put the schedule together. Some things that in the past that I thought worked really well, and some that I thought could have been maybe just shifted and maybe helped a little bit better. So it's cool to have it all put together and see how this one turns out, but I feel like we got a good plan.
One bad plan, just heads up for you, don't follow Luke to all-you-can-eat wings night because it was not a good idea. Enjoy the week, Coach.
I appreciate you, Dave.
Coach Mace, absolute beauty. Father John's a fan of the program. So that's your case. So we got a jam-packed show. Mike McCullough standing by. We're gonna have the two-time Grey Cup champ, comedian.
He is a comedian. He's a character.
I'm gonna see if you heard what Luke Mullender had to say about him yesterday. We're gonna hear from Jamarcus Hardrick, Jeremy O'Day. Dave and Luke are gonna join us in hour 2 from Winnipeg. Arash Madani, Mason Nyhus, offensive coach with the University of Saskatchewan Huskies, is going to join us. Glen Suitor in hour 3. Dave and Luke again. SJHL Report, where we're giving away our new hat. Giving away one of our new hats in hour 3. Bucket. And Dante Myers. Jam-packed show. It's the Sports Cage on the home of the Riders, 620 CKRM. Thursdays is for Access Communications, trusted in rural Saskatchewan for internet, TV, and home security. Sharky is here with me. He's brought to you by Flooring Superstore. Trent Dickett and his team over 20 years in business. We said Western Pizza, you got to pre-order for Sunday. It's going to be a busy one.
Get on the stick.
If you can, let's go out on the Western Pizza guest hotline. We've kept him waiting a little bit here, and we've teed it up. Joining us, two-time Grey Cup champion, Mike McCullough. Mike, are you any kind of excitement? Are you going back from your days that we're at a Grey Cup week here and the Riders are there?
First off, don't you dare keep a two-time Grey Cup champion waiting, okay? Don't ever do that again. I mean, you can keep Husey waiting, but don't keep me waiting, okay? I got things to do.
I texted you. You didn't get the text yet?
I got it like 6 hours ago, yeah.
Yeah. You know he doesn't text.
No, I love it. I love
read it. That's about it.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you saying? I was too.
Just any kind of excitement for you? I know now you're a fan. You're a local guy. You're a Regina guy. But it's been 12 years, right? Like for a while there, it seemed like we we're going to be there all the time. Now it's been a long time. But for you, where's your excitement level?
You know what? Having played in it, I'm not as excited because it's like I got to play in 4 of them. So, it was amazing. So I'm excited for them, but I'm personally, I wish I were more excited. It's just when you've got to be a part of it and be in it and engrossed in it so many times. I was so very lucky. Just watching it now, it's like, oh, okay, it's good. But I'm just excited for the team, the organization. That's what I'm excited for, and the fans. I'm just kind of on the outside, and I'll watch it, but I'm definitely not like hardcore right now for some reason. I don't know why.
What advice would you give a guy that's played in 4, 1, 2? What advice would you give someone that's going to their first one from the Riders, if you could, just about the week?
It's tough. You gotta. It's tough to dial in because the biggest thing is it's almost like practice becomes an afterthought because there's so much going on. You want to go to the luncheon, you want to see the awards, you want to, even guys like, I want to check out Riderville. Not the best idea. Trust me, if you're young, don't just check out Riderville because that's where you get your ego pumped up, right? You walk in there, it's like you're a friggin' huge celebrity. Like they recognize me in Riderville, which is ridiculous. So you got to be really careful. And I heard Coach talking there in his interview. You got to follow some of the vets. Those guys know what to do. Be excited, enjoy the moment, but don't get moved off of your path. Right, you're there to win, and then once you win, you can just let loose.
You've been to 4. What's the favorite event from the first one? I know the last one. We've heard those stories a lot. What's your favorite story from 2007?
Well, not favorite. I guess as soon as we got into town, I guess it was on the Monday. We went around the corner from the Skydome because we were staying at the hotel attached and. Bunch of us, myself, Mikowski, probably 8 or 10 guys went out some place, had chicken. I got food poisoning. So I was out of commission for about Tuesday to Friday morning. I still went to practice, but I was not in a good way. I was, it was let's say coming at both ends for 3 days. And I was stuck in the hotel room. I couldn't go to luncheon. I was dying, absolutely dying.
There's a story. Your stories about 2013 are much better than 2007.
Yeah, too much info. I'm sure nobody watches this. No one's going to hear this.
But that's a scary thing, right? And
sure.
You got Super Bowl week. What the Blue Jays were just going through. Like diet would have to be so dialed. NHL playoffs because guys, you could catch anything. A food poisoning story. Knock on wood. No one's getting that there for sure. The losses, obviously 2009 and 2010. I was actually watching the 2010 game the other day. It was Anthony Calvillo that you were facing, veteran, methodical down the field. The Riders are playing a rookie that hasn't lost yet, and Davis Alexander. What do you make of that story, Mike? As a defensive guy, what would your mindset be in this one?
I'd be a little nervous, to be honest with you, because this is a guy who's so young. He doesn't know what he doesn't know. He doesn't know that he's supposed to go in there and be the underdog and probably not win this game. This dude he's balling right now, and he's cocky. I know some people get on, oh, he's cocky, but if you're a team and you got a young guy like that who's 19-0 or whatever the hell he is, you're pretty excited to go in this game. Now, granted, the Riders are the favorite and should be. But it's a kid like that, a quarterback like that, who can really change the tide of a game. So I'd be very nervous. I'd want to keep him in the pocket, but I'd want to run him around all day. I'd want to get that hamstring working. I'd want to just hit him every time and maybe, toe the line a little bit, get him late, like just hammer him, because like I said, this guy's something. And I haven't seen a lot of him this year, but just what I've seen, it's very impressive. The guys love the types of quarterbacks like that. Darian was like that. Darian was a gunslinger. He wasn't a tactician like Calvillo. He was after the game, jersey torn, blood all over the place, having a beer with the boys. And that's the kind of quarterback that guys love to play with and win with. So he's the type of guy that they'll rally around. So you got to be real careful with him.
That call last week in the West Final, Coach Mace, we're going to take the field goal and we're going to trust we're going to get the ball back and we're going to go as a defensive guy in your mindset and a guy that's been in that game. Is that something, I'm sure when you're on the field, you're like, he trusts us. But as a fan, you're watching that. Are you second guessing that?
Oddly enough, I've been talking to a lot of people, a lot of clients with that. I was up in the alumni lounge because I'm a Fairweather fan now. And talking with, there's a bunch of guys up there who've been through it. So former teammates, some guys who came before me, guys who came after. We were just kind of hashing it out. We weren't angry. We're just asking. And I was against it going for the 3rd and 5. I thought, you know what, if you trust your defense and we don't get it, you still trust them on the 5-yard line. And that way, if you trust them, they do their job. Maybe we get the ball back on their 45 again to try to tie the game. But clearly, Mace gets paid to do what he does, and he's better than me. So he was obviously trying to get points on the board because he trusts his defense to then get the ball back and go win the game. So Macho Harris is up there with us. I think he was the only guy that agreed with Mace. So I'll give Macho credit, even though I hate to. Victor Harris, he agreed with it as soon as it was going on. But most of us up there weren't agreeing with it. But we weren't rattled. We weren't upset. It's just like I want to see what played out. And hey, everything he did turned up roses. So good on him because he had a pair on him that game. Some of the calls he made, I'm like, good on him, man. That's what the guys love. A coach who will just say, you know what, this is how we're going to do it because we're going to win the game. So, yeah, good on him.
Let's take you to 2013, and I know you've got some epic stories of the Grey Cup, sleeping with it, driving your kids to school, all the rest of it. But one of your favorite stories is just the time you spent in the dressing room with the guys. Talk about that after you guys had the big silver bowl in your hands.
Yeah, it was, after the game, it was great. It was myself, a couple of my buddies, my former teammate, Scotty Gordon, who came down for the game. We won in 07 together, and we had Bag, Dressler, some of our family members, and Brendan Tam was there. We were there the wee hours, and, I was the last one in. I told everybody I was going to basically outlast everybody, and I did. And I think it's the last time I've been able to outlast anybody in terms of partying. But, it was amazing. And, just even afterwards, I think I was in the locker room for an hour and a half after the game, and just being around the guys and knowing it was my last game, knowing I was going to take my pads off the last time. It was bittersweet, but I almost showered with my pads on. I was kind of so hesitant to take them off, but it was the locker room right after the game was probably the best of experience of all the experiences.
Okay. I want to. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. You got it.
You got anything else in 13, okay. I want to play this clip for you. Then I want to hear your comments. Second.
McCullough will tell you. He would remember because he's got a photographic memory. Mike McCullough, man, what made him so good was just he just knew where everybody was supposed to line up. I felt like Mike McCullough, when I first got to the team, I mean, he really showed me how to be a professional because man, he had such a talent for absorbing what the coaches wanted to do. And when we would get on the field, Mike McCullough, the primary package Mike McCullough played in when we were younger was the Tiger package, where he was the middle linebacker. It was a package in which we would put some heavy emphasis on our defensive ends, but more importantly, it was protect against the pass. And man, me being young and dumb, emphasis on the dumb part at that point, sometimes really didn't know where to line up. And it was so nice to have McCullough out there because not only did I not know where to line up, sometimes nobody else knew. And McCullough we'd get the call in from the sidelines, and McCullough would he knew that we needed the help too, but he would just yell it out. Okay, hey Luke, we're going this way. Hey Fred, we're going. You know what I mean? Yeah. And guys like that help, but he'll definitely remember what I'm talking about.
Some pretty nice words from your boy.
The creepiest thing of all is he said my full name like 17 times. I feel like my name lost some meaning. I'm surprised he didn't throw my full middle name in there too.
Okay, first I want to ask you about that. Is you were like a coach on the field. Are you seeing anybody on this current Rider defense that reminds you of you out there, Mike?
Ooh, I wouldn't want to do that to anybody because that's a shot. These guys are athletic, so they definitely don't remind me of me. You know what? I mean, it's like Milligan. Those guys, they just know they've been around long enough. Like I said, the biggest thing with me is what kept my career going was my brain. I mean, I wasn't out running anybody. I wasn't out physicaling anybody. We all know that. Let's call a spade a spade. So my role was to make sure I always did what I was supposed to do and to help guys get in the position to do what they needed to do. And very rarely was I out of position. Sometimes I was out-athleted at my position. So even if I wasn't in the right position, they'd get by me, and hey, that happens. But that was kind of my role with the team.
Okay, what do you remember about Coach Echeverry or any of your coaches and any of your four implementing something maybe last minute before the big Grey Cup game? Do you remember anything defensively or maybe the day before, practice before, something that they said, hey, we are going to have a heads up on this. We're going to implement this right now?
I wouldn't say it was right before. Echeverry, after we lost in 2009, in 2010, he was implementing game plans before week 1 for the Grey Cup in 2010. He was adamant we were going back, and he was at times playing possum. Not possum, I guess is the right word, but we were doing things that we wouldn't normally do in certain situations, prepping for later on down the road when we could unveil them, at the most important time, especially in the Grey Cup. So that was crazy to me that he was already talking about the Grey Cup before week 1 about how our philosophy was and what we were going to do so we could lead up and we could hopefully, maybe catch Montreal off guard in 2010, which, we played well, just not well enough. But that was crazy to me. And that was what was exciting to me, knowing like, man, this guy really does believe we're going back. So it just fills the rest of us with belief, because we lost Chick, we lost the sack leader, Chick, we lost Eddie Davis, arguably one of the greatest defensive backs of all time. We lost Ray Williams in 2009. So going into 10, the year previous, we were had the most sacks in the entire league. And in 2010, I think we had the least sacks for a defense. And we still went back to the Grey Cup as a great defense. So we just changed our philosophy based off of the personnel we had, and it still worked. It was pretty incredible, actually. I think I was second on the team in 2010 in sacks with 4. Yeah, me. I was second leading sacker on the team. It was me and somebody else behind, I think, Jarrell Freeman. I had 4. In the previous year, I think Chick had 16 to lead the whole league. So that kind of tells you how you could just adapt with who you had and still be successful.
What is the McCullough family doing? Are we getting together with Rider alumni? Do you have something special planned for Sunday?
I'm a quiet guy. Like I said, I was in the alumni lounge. I didn't go outside once. I like quiet. I like to watch it. I like to analyze it. If I prefer no one to even talk to me, I just want to, if I could be in a hyperbaric chamber and watch the game, I would. It's just going to be me and my kids. My daughter's definitely not going to watch it. My one son's definitely not going to watch it. My other 2 boys will watch it. My wife's in Toronto at a Stevie Nicks concert, so she's not watching either.
That'd be pretty good too. A Stevie Nicks concert.
Yeah,
White Winged Dove.
Yeah.
What a tune.
I don't know anything about music. I know, so I didn't even know she was part of Fleetwood Mac. My wife made fun of me for days about it. I had no idea.
Oh yeah.
So, big part of Fleetwood Mac.
Do you know that Lindsey Buckingham was?
I thought Fleetwood Mac was 4 guys that looked like ZZ Top. I had no idea that women were in Fleetwood Mac. I couldn't even name a song in Fleetwood Mac. So that just goes to tell you how much I know.
So he's not going to know who Lindsey Buckingham is. No.
I have no idea who that is. I always get Stevie Nicks and Nikki Sixx mixed up because of the name. So I always have to think, is he going to a Nikki Sixx concert or Stevie Nicks? And I know Nikki Sixx is Motley Crue, so you're not going to that one. Yeah, so that's how much skill about music. Music and technology basically go hand in hand with me. I know nothing.
Let's get a hot take from you for the game, because I'm asking people to text in today. We got a few coming in that I'm going to get to. But what do you have for us, a hot take that's going to happen on Sunday?
I'm saying a blocked kick of some kind, a blocked punt, a blocked field goal. That's going to be a big part of the game. I don't know when in the game, but it'll be a big special teams play, like a block kick, maybe even a punt return touchdown, something big on the special team side of things that's going to really open up the game.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. I can see it too. I can see it happening. Yeah, I can see it happening. I like it. I
knew this would be fun. It always is. While I got you on the line, is Will coming to play? Dude, I don't want to have to text you.
I got it. He's down with the flu right now. He has been
Food poisoning.
On the couch for 4 days. He can't even talk, which is kind of nice because he's actually quiet for once in his life. But I will find out. I gotta talk to him. But he has been out of commission for 4 days.
Okay, let me know when I got to text you that contract. I'm trying to get his boy to play on my flag team. So
I knew there was an angle. I knew there was an angle.
I would expect a new shiny vehicle to end up in my driveway the next month, but we'll talk.
It'll be shiny. How new it'll be is a different thing, but it'll be shiny.
That's right. All right, Mike. Have a good one. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the game.
All right, guys. Thanks for having me.
Take care. Two-time Grey Cup champ, former rider legend, Mike McCullough.
And I'll tell you what, if you need a football speaker for your event, Mike McCullough comes with a bag full of stories and is very, very entertaining. Very entertaining.
Every time he's like Eric Francis. Well, most of our guests, right? Great storyteller. Stevie Nicks, Nikki Six.
You should mix those up all the time. That seems normal.
They should tour together. Really.
Probably could.
Good marketing plan there. We'll come back. We'll get to, sorry, Colson?
Just quickly, I found 2010 stats.
Yep.
Sack leader, Jarrell Freeman with 7. And a 4-way tie at second place. Barwin Simpson, Kitwana Jones, Luke Mullender, and Mike McCullough with 4. They actually put McCullough in the lead because his counted for the most yards lost. So there we go.
Okay.
There we go. All right. We're going to go to break here. We come back. We're going to read some of your text messages. 936-6262. Some hot takes coming in. We'll kind of throw around a few here.
I got a couple.
As well. It's a Sports Cage. We are streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com. Welcome back to the show for Access Communications on Thursday. All right. Hot take time. Prairie Land Rentals text line. I like Mike McCullough's.
That's a good one.
Some sort of special teams block kick. Dylan up in Saskatoon first. Oh, this is kind of where I was going to go, Dylan.
What'd he do?
My hot take is Davis Alexandra is done after the first quarter.
You know what? There's a lot to be said for that because he was limping after the last game. It's the same injury he had earlier in the year. We all know a hamstring doesn't heal overnight. You can tape the wheelies out of it, but yeah, he's he gets pulled down from behind. This could be bad.
I talked about this with Don the other day as a Ukrainian genetics and big legs. I've torn the hamstring and the quads and a few times. It is, you're going to have the treatment and wrapping and all that. But as soon as any kind of little tug, like you said, a tug from behind or something, trouble. Okay, Brad up in Saskatoon. Look at all the Saskatoon love today. What's going on up there, fellas?
Appreciate it.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. You got to let me know east side or west side, though, too. When you're calling.
Do they even have any sports shows in Saskatoon? No.
What?
No. There's nothing else to follow. It's just us.
Huskies this weekend. Huge game.
I know, but we're the big show.
Huge game. What?
Yeah.
Who told you we're the big show?
We're the big show.
Okay, Brad's hot take. After 2 successful third and short conversions for Tommy Stevens, on the third one, it's a fake, and he throws to Bertrand Houdon for a surprise TD.
That's not only a hot take, that is an excellent play calling decision by the Rider coaching staff.
Brad?
Yeah.
Where they might be calling on you.
Yeah.
Play calling.
They're going to go, how do you know what we're doing? What are you looking at?
Only thing I'll leave behind are the delusion. Okay, this was James telling me that he got a hotel in Headingley. Just when you're driving into Winnipeg there, and then the hockey rinks are across the.
That's where the federal penitentiary is. Yes.
What?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I think we're. Anyway, you're highway through Headingley, and then there's that Best Western. There's a Flying J. A lot of hockey teams stay there because the 4 rinks where the Jets practice and all that right across. And I laughed. I said, I'm checking in there Thursday morning. So if you leave anything behind, I'll bring it back to you. James in Regina. Okay. Roscoe says, those are great looking hats. They are. Our new SportsCage hats.
Thank you, Roscoe.
Giving them away on Thursdays. The SJHL Report coming up in a bit. Brought to you by Chad Reach. So a little plug there. Yeah, they are nice hats. Thanks, Roscoe. I've heard a lot of accolades for Tavon Campbell. Can someone speak to the fact he also tried rugby and played for Team Canada Sevens? I remember hearing this story.
Yes, I remember hearing it as well. I can't tell you the details of it, but I remember hearing it. Ran track at the U of R as well. Like, there wasn't anything this guy couldn't do. Started in the NFL, right? Like, Tavon Camp, he's a player.
Okay, Jeff and Regina. Hot take I'm hoping for is Lawther is the difference in a good way.
I don't think it's going to come down to Lawther. I've got a 10-point spread. I'm matching some other guys that I've seen. I'm looking at 27-17, something like that.
So you're taking, when we get to sprinkle of the day here momentarily, we'll talk about that. I wrote it down yesterday. Oh, here it is. Okay. Speaking of Brett Lawther, I wrote this down. Banjo Bowl.
Yes.
He was 5 for 5. Longest was 41.
Nice.
When they went back there, October 17th, 3 for 4 with a longest of 42. He's only missed one field goal in that stadium this year.
Yeah, he's fine there.
So I like it. I like Lawther.
He's comfortable.
All right, let's keep him coming. 936-62-62.
What do we think our defense is going to do? We've talked about offensive plays. Who's got a hot take defensively? I can literally see a couple of turnovers out of our secondary. Of their fumble recoveries or interceptions. I think our secondary.
One of those freaky interceptions like happened in the West Final where it bounces around and it falls on a guy's belly and then pops up or something.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I see.
Colson, you got a hot take?
Yeah, I got one. It's technically not a football hot take, but my take is someone breaks the Grey Cup again.
Well, that's kind of a standard. That's not
that Kelly Bates.
It's about every 5 years. Yeah, Kelly Bates did it, but it's about every 5-6 years between it getting broken, I find. So I think we're due.
It's not as heavy as the Stanley Cup. The Stanley Cup is, about 45 pounds? 40 pounds? It's not as heavy as that.
Because I can 100% see Jamarcus Hardrick getting way too excited and thrusting it up and it snaps in half. Yeah. I can 100% see that.
It's a lot lighter than you think.
My hot take is someone finds the Banjo Bowl. Brings it out. They have both trophies at the end of it all. But I thought for sure you were going to say something about the halftime show. Machine Gun Kelly actually brings out somebody that resonates with us.
Maybe he brings out a banjo.
I don't know if Machine Gun could play the banjo.
I didn't say he'd play it. I said maybe he brings one out. So like he got a local artist or something.
Who's the Burton Cummings?
Burton Cummings, yeah.
From Winnipeg?
Yep.
Does he come out?
Could.
Machine Gun Kelly?
That'd be quite a piece.
I saw the Watchmen are playing some sort of pre-event. So that's great. Someone was asking me this the other day, because remember when we talked about it a couple weeks ago, the Grey Cup logo?
Yes.
That's everywhere. Very nice logo. Such a fallacy.
So nothing like Winnipeg.
That is not Winnipeg. The nice pine trees and the sky, the mountains in the background. Nah, you lied. People are showing up in Winnipeg that have been there going,
where's the mountains? Where's the trees?
Lied to me.
What are these mosquitoes?
Okay, Steven. Steve, we have to go there, bud. We had to go there, eh? My hot take is, ironically, the 13th man will end up winning the game for Sask. There will be a few procedure calls. The Als team won't be able to handle their nerves. Riders will take advantage of this.
I don't think that's the case. I don't think the Als.
I don't mind that. Hey,
I don't mind it.
Each their own.
Yeah, I think the Als are going to be okay coming in here. We talked a little bit earlier about Davis Alexander being 19-0. At some point, you've got to add a 1 to that column, and I think it's going to be Sunday. I think he's going to go 19-1 as a starter.
I think it's only 12, but sure.
Sure, whatever the number is. Okay. Yeah. He's going to add that loss.
Do you have your first one? What's your first one? Is that your first one?
It's one of 3 I got. Yeah.
Greg is saying Phil Pott getting 2 long TDs. Who's going on the other side? Greg's going on the other side. Here's a question.
Go ahead.
What do you think the percentage, I know this is a little bit tough, percentage of fans, Rider fans at the game? I said it's going to be around 50. Greg thinks it's around 40, who was in yesterday.
Yeah, I'm in that 40 to 45 range, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot of tickets have already been purchased corporately. Mm-hmm. They're going to be used corporately within Winnipeg. So we're going to look at how many people are going to try to get there that aren't Winnipeg fans, right? That they're dropping their tickets now because the Bombers are out.
That's what I think. A lot of tickets are going to drop because they are. If you missed it, you're just tuning into the show. Tickets. We'll give you an update, and again, they did drop again. Today. So to get in is cheaper. And then hotels. Greg's staying at an Airbnb, some sort of bunker or garden shed for $97. He's going to send pictures.
He's in a tent trailer.
Yeah, he's elbows up. That's what he is. Okay, so keep the text coming. 936-6262. Let's go into Sprinkle of the Day.
Okay.
Coulson. And if you want to throw, I want to go tonight. My Patriots.
Yeah.
Taking on
big favorites over the Jets.
Now, what scares me is a rookie quarterback and Thursday night games. Absolutely, that's why we didn't ride. We're still Chad and I are still alive in our survivor pools. You're
not actually going to sprinkle on the Jets, are you?
Are you crazy?
That's the point I'm making.
No, but the spread. The spread's 12.5. SportsSelect.com. The Patriots are 120. The tie's way out of play. It's not going to be a 3-point game. The only other thing, and you can single bet this, when it has an S on it at sportselect.com or on your phone, that means you can place a single bet. So over under 43.5.
Under.
That is such a tough number. I'm going to go over.
Okay.
So I'm going to go over. That's my sprinkle of the day at Sports Select. You can play it once. Now you can just generate the QR code. Boom. Just like that. You go into your Lotto Spot retailer. They scan it. You're good to go.
Do they have Columbus and Edmonton on there? Where's that game? Can you roll through the screen? Bruins, Ottawa, load more.
You got it. Yeah, you got a lot. You should have teed this up for us.
Well,
Kings are at the Maple Leafs. If you want that action. Edmonton Oilers, Columbus. You want to parlay it? Edmonton's 240. Columbus is 2. Columbus coming off a long road trip.
Coming off a long road trip. Edmonton played last night in overtime. Got a win. Got a little mo going. Columbus didn't have a great road trip either. Let's take the Oilers.
All right, there you go. SportsSelect.com. Like I said, you can generate this QR code and scan it, and we go from there. It's for Sports Select. Must be 18 plus to play. Every bet is 100% legal. And bet on the original, get some cash in hand. It is a Sports Cage. We are streaming through our YouTube channel, sportscage.com, and on home of the Riders, 620 CKRM. The Grey Cup, obviously a big game for everybody involved, but for the local guys like Logan Furland, a Sasky boy, this Grey Cup is extra special.
It's been a dream growing up in small town Sask. Since then, I mean, since being able to play football in that small town of Melfort, that's been a goal of mine. And just to be here, it's a pinch yourself moment, but still focused for the week.
All right, hockey tonight in and around the area. Male U18 AAA Pat Canadians hosting the Saskatoon Blazers. 8 p.m. puck drop at the Sixer. Pilot Butte Storms at the Regina Silver Foxes. And Prairie Junior Hockey 7:45. National Hockey League tonight. Canadian teams. Toronto welcomes the Kings. Montreal plays host to Dallas. Ottawa welcomes Boston. The Oilers are in Columbus, like we talked about. Calgary and San Jose in Cowtown, and Winnipeg is in Seattle. Week 11 of the NFL season starts. Jets-Patriots tonight. Patriots favored by 100. SportsCage.com poll. Which team is the underdog in the 112th Grey Cup? You can vote at SportsCage.com. It's for the Bundle and Save event at Reliance Heath. Rent a new water heater and softener together and get $400 in cash back. Call on Reliance Heath today. Okay, one last text here. Sharky, well, maybe a few.
Okay.
This one's funny. Clayton says, easy boys. Let's stay quiet and humble, and let's not give them any locker room pinup material. Hey, Clayton, we're a sports show. We got 3 hours to kill here, my man.
Montreal's not listening to us.
Been in broadcasting for 28 years, done morning shows, afternoon sports, play-by-play. By far the hardest thing to do is kill 3 hours on a talk show. We can't stay quiet. And Montreal does not give a rip what Barney and Sharky are thinking in Regina.
They're not worried about us at all.
If they do,
we got them. They're pinning up us.
Bigger fish.
We got them.
Bigger problems, I mean.
Yeah. This game is ours.
Steven's got another hot take saying Trevor Harris and AJ hooking up with a flea flicker and finding Dante Myers wide open down the seam for a huge touchdown in the first quarter. Steven, you like playing video games. Like, I get it. I love that. I love that brain.
There's going to be something unique like that happen one side or the other, I guarantee, whether it's a flea flicker or some sort of Statue of Liberty or call it what you want or a throwback. There's going to be some kind of play happen like that.
James Lower Bowl on the 25-yard line, $700 firm. Is this the trading post, or is this the flea market's back on CKRM? I don't know if you're selling those, James, or you found those. You can get in for a lot cheaper, as I talked about earlier in the show. Roscoe is saying Tourism Winnipeg photo of driving into the city, and he sent a photo. I don't think it's Tourism Winnipeg that came up with the logo. I think it's the Grey Cup committee, but Roscoe, that's funny.
Yeah, they don't have that picture on the Grey Cup logo.
936-6262, Prairie Line Rentals text line. You can text in. What's your hot take for the game coming up? Hour 2's ahead. Dave and Luke are going to join from Winnipeg. We're going to have our clutch performer, Arash Madani, and Mason Nyhus from the U of S Huskies will join us. It is the Sports Cage. 1 hour in the books. It is for Access Communications. Hour 2 of the Thursday show, like you said, for Access Communications. And my man Sharky is here beside me. Sharky is for
Flooring Superstore. Call them. They'll hook you up. They got some good stuff. I'm not lying.
Park Street.
Go see them.
Do-it-yourselfers. Cash and carry. Colson's over there on the board, making sure everything runs smoothly. Back out quickly on the Prairie Land Rentals text line, Sharky. Some hot takes.
Hot takes.
Frank sent one a while ago. Sorry, Frank. It was down at the bottom here. My hot take after the Riders win the Grey Cup, Owls go to the wrong dressing room and let the Riders use the Bomber dressing room to celebrate a huge win. Yeah. That would... Yeah, it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
We know it. That's a good one. Gary says, I'm looking forward to this year's Grey Cup game. I would be pulling out my 45-year-old Ronnie Lancaster 23 jersey. I'm hoping that Bomber fans will support the Riders this Sunday. Gary from Winnipeg.
I'm not worried about that.
I think it's going to be more will support to do the old, we're the West, we're going to stand and elbows up. Then we'll go, hell no, I am not cheering for the Riders. I will cheer for whoever. Montreal. I almost said something real bad there. That kicked out.
There's going to be a portion of the stadium, and I think it's going to be 40% that it's going to be in green. They're going to be loud. They're going to be noisy. There's going to be some people jump on board. I anticipate a good Rider following and Rider cheering section in Winnipeg on Sunday.
Prairie Line Rentals text line 936-6262. Let's go. Out on the Western Pizza guest hotline, let's go to our video link. If you're watching the stream at the YouTube channel, let's bring in Dave and Luke. First off, hey, Luke in a T-shirt. I haven't seen Luke in a T-shirt for a long time. We had Mike McCullough on, Luke. He really liked your comments yesterday. We played for him, but he said he was non-athletic. Of course, he was super self-deprecating. Non-athletic, and what Luke said was some of it was false, but it was nice and kind.
What do you mean?
For me, he just said he wasn't that good. You know how he is.
Wow, that's completely different than when I talk to him. Because when I talk to him, he's the greatest player that ever donned a uniform.
Kid, I don't want to get in trouble with him. I need his kid to play on my flag team. Sharky's got a question for the fellas.
So, guys, you've been there all week. You look like you're doing the job. You're going to the practices. You're getting the interviews. Okay, I want to know where the best food is. Where's the best party? What bands are playing tonight? Give me the lowdown. What's going on?
Well, tonight it's actually the CFL Awards, so that's where we're going to be. So there'll be bands and whatnot. After that, Riderville and the Atlantic Schooner Zone and all that fun stuff starts going. The Fan Fest will officially open as of tomorrow. didn't open today. It was open to actually school kids, and that Fan Fest is where you can go run a 40 or whatever you want to do. I don't know if that's a lot of fun for you and I, but you can go do that if you want.
My 40 days are done.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I think that you know what, we also were at the Farhan and Dave Naylor media party yesterday.
Nice.
After the show. That was really cool. And you know, obviously in those things you always talk about the hot button issues with the Canadian Football League. I thought it was really interesting. Most of the talk centered around Mike O'Shea and scenarios in which he stays in Winnipeg, and then you know, if that happens, who gets the Toronto job, or if Mike O'Shea would go to Toronto, who would get the Winnipeg job. It was really interesting because again, you traditionally a lot of business gets done at the Grey Cup, right? So for instance, my buddy Rob Fry, he's in here. Yeah. He's in here talking to obviously the guys that he represents and about the guys he represents, but more importantly, you know, after the business gets done, he flies out, right? Doesn't even stick around for the game. So it's nice to see. You know, yesterday I was telling Dave, this is kind of where the week kicks off. Monday, Tuesday's kind of slow. Wednesday, you kind of have that kickoff where everybody starts gathering, and then Thursday, Friday, you know, things like the events get going and Riderville gets going, so it'll be good.
And last night too, had an opportunity to catch up with the commissioner, and it was interesting because we had a one-on-one conversation. At first, it was kind of awkward because I thought he wanted to talk to me because, you know, he was coming over. Turns out I was just standing in the aisle on the way to the bathroom. But then when he came back, actually, we talked a little bit about the rule changes and the changes that are coming in. And you know what? He is very, very passionate and very, very committed to making it working, and he is challenging the rest of the league to make it work. And I think it's pretty cool. And again, had a great conversation with him after he washed his hands.
We'll come back to the rule changes. On the O'Shea, Toronto, not Winnipeg, not Toronto deal, what was the consensus? What came out of that? What does everybody think is going to happen? Who's going to drop where?
Oh, wow. Actually, so it was funny because nobody really had an inclination. There was, you know, half the room says it's a done deal, half the room says there's no way, right? Again, you guys know where I stand on this. I think O'Shea would be crazy to leave Winnipeg after, you know, building and being a big part of the culture build there that the Winnipeg Blue Bombers have now. And it's evident. I mean, the Grey Cup so far has been run really well. There's a ton of volunteers that are really great, friendly folks. You know, so again, it just going to a dumpster fire like the Toronto organization for just after being here. The problem is I don't think that the Argonauts want to build the type of culture that the Winnipeg Blue Bombers have built, right? They just want to, feels like they're interested in other things, and sometimes, you know, letting Dinwiddie walk doesn't look like they're interested in winning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, it's not a great look. No.
I found that it was like newsworthy that he was getting on a plane and going to Toronto. And I was like, yeah, what do you think, he's going to Zoom? No, you're going to go and you're going to do the flyby and the meet and greet and all that. Okay, the question I've been sitting on here for the last 5 minutes, what did Farhan have for a spread?
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Barbecue.
Yeah, it was a really good barbecue spot. What was the place called again? But me and Dave and my buddy, we had already eaten because, you know, I said
veteran move, you said.
Yeah, veteran move, right? So we had already eaten, but they had some great barbecue, brisket going. I caved towards the end of the evening and had a piece of the pecan and pie and whipped cream. That was
nice.
really good.
Nice.
Yeah, boys. It was a good spot. It was a ways off the beaten path, but it was awesome.
Yeah, pecan pie.
Oh,
now
Farhan and them know how to throw a party, but they also gave a lot of props to Wade for essentially organizing the whole thing prior to them even making a phone call, right? So again, culture. Right?
Wade Miller.
Yeah, Wade Miller. Sorry, I was calling him by his name. Yeah, sorry.
There's going to be a lot of people that want to know anything that you've noticed injury-wise. Anybody running around, anybody doing anything out of the ordinary?
Well, I was appropriately called out on social media today because a Okay, here's the deal. It's the receiving core that we're watching closely with the Saskatchewan Roughriders to find out what they're going to do. Joe was back, full participant in practice. Joe Robustelli, I didn't think he was going to go just in the conversation that I kind of had with him, but he is fine. He was out there. He was running around, looked great. I also thought that Keyshawn Johnson was going to go, but Keyshawn was more of a spectator today and kind of took a day for treatment. So, again, in the conversations that I had, I was told or made to understand, or maybe my own personal belief was that Robustelli wouldn't go and that Keyshawn Johnson would, but it was the other way around. Keyshawn Johnson didn't go and Joe Robustelli did. So that's the biggest thing that you can see right now with the Rough Riders. Joe, Robustelli, and Keyshawn Johnson. The defense remains intact without Shane Ray. Shane Ray probably will not play in this Grey Cup game, as again, he's been in civvies for the last month and a bit now. So I doubt that Shane Ray will be able to go, but everybody else seems to be all systems go.
There you go.
You had brought up earlier the conversation you had with the commissioner and the rule changes and his excitement or his passion for bringing forward those changes. Is there one in particular that he highlighted that this has really got to happen to change the game for the Canadian fans?
When I talked to him, no, he didn't highlight one. He just was enthusiastic about the change because, again, you hear the negative speak when it comes to that, and there's been a lot of it, right? But you don't always hear the positive speak, the positive spin, the people that are saying, okay, let's give this a try and let's see what it looks like. Because if it doesn't look like anything good, you can always change it back, right? I would highly doubt that would happen, but just the commissioner is very much in belief that these changes are for the betterment of the game. He doesn't want to Americanize it. He isn't bringing in NFL 2.0, any of that. Fear that there is not going to happen. I think that the innovations he's hoping will create more excitement around the game. And again, he's very excited about it and committed to it.
I know, Dave, and we're going to run it hopefully at some point today, if not tomorrow. You had a nice sit down with Jeremy O'Day, and to both of you, maybe first to Luke. You've been around this guy a long time, Jeremy O'Day. You know what he puts up with in the province with the passionate fan base. People are always calling for his heads. Him, Reynolds, down the line the last few years. Is there a sense of relief when you talk to him? I know the job's not done. They're just there. They still haven't won it. But for what this guy has to put up with, do you guys feel that there's a little sense of relief and the project is working?
I haven't talked to J.O. All week.
Okay, Dave, to you then.
But there's a reason why. The reason why is I think that for all of the moves that and the J.O. spent the better part of 20 years in this organization, right? He's going to be a Hall of Famer because of that. But more importantly, I think that he really had to fight to get to the point where it was his show, right? I mean, with Chris Jones, with Brendan Taman, it took a while for J.O. to really just get the reins to himself, and he had some ups and downs with the coaching staff that he had here. Obviously, that changed with Coach Mace. And now you find yourself in the Grey Cup. And one of the things that's synonymous with J.O. around the people that are talking in the Grey Cup week, I've heard it a couple times now. Heard it last night, heard it today, heard it the day before. I mean, he's the hardest working GM in the league, right? So I think that, is there a relief? No, because I think that he's probably grinding it out and not even thinking about, oh man, we've arrived. Like, what have you arrived at, right? There's nothing really to arrive at yet, and even when I think that, if the Riders were to win, I think that he would take some time and then he would get right back to the process, so it's
great words. Dave, how about you just let us play the interview, if that's okay?
Absolutely. Hear it for yourself. And the two words I'll just quickly interject are pride but not satisfied. And that's in a conversation I had with Craig Reynolds and this one with Jeremy O'Day.
Jeremy, the question I've been getting all week is, what's the atmosphere around Winnipeg like? You've been around this before. What's it been like?
Well, obviously different than our normal trips here. We're staying at a different hotel, and obviously there's a lot more people around early in the week here, and again, we're here early, so feels different than a normal trip to Winnipeg, but it also, it feels like Grey Cup. There's a slow burn that's happening, some buzz that's being created. There's excitement coming from the players, but it's good. We haven't, today's the first day that we get in the practice field, so I think today will be a big eye opener when we get to the practice field and we're in another stadium for our day one practice. But it's exciting. Really just trying to get everyone settled into the hotel and help the players get their families' travel worked out, making sure we have enough tickets for everyone, all those types of things that you got to deal with.
Luke said to me, he goes, Dave, you don't realize until you're here how much of the routine you rely on. He said something as simple as what you're going to eat for supper changes. How do you help assimilate your team with those changes?
Yeah, everything's different. So every day of the week, day one during the regular season was the same routine. You'd walk in, you'd have breakfast. You know where the coffee was. You know where to go get taped. You knew where the bathrooms were on the floor of the meeting rooms. And so when you first get started, everything's brand new, right? So the players have to, they're getting their own food. Where do you eat? So what we do is we just try to alleviate as many of the questions that they have as possible. So you really just put yourself in their shoes of what they would be looking for, making sure that, simple things like coffee are available, providing them with a list of places that they can order food from, whether it be in the hotel, whether it be local restaurants. We bring Dan Farling involved with that, with trying to create some healthy choices for the guys to eat at. But everything's just changed. You're living out of a hotel. Most of the guys have a roommate, so you got a roommate that you're with that you're normally not with, and so it's just a little bit of adjustment. But usually after day one or day two, you're focused in and you figured everything out.
Well, this week may be about change. Your roster is all about staying the same and continuity. What about last year's group made it important to you to keep this group together moving forward to this year and seeing what they've been able to accomplish?
We made the decision after last year. We wanted to bring a lot of our guys back, as many as we could, add a few additions that we did in the off season. But we just felt like we had some momentum going. Last year, Corey's first year as a head coach, Mark's first year as a coordinator, Corey's first time calling it for our team. So we felt like that year was very valuable for us going into this year, so they could have some. They'd understand the schemes, they'd understand what to expect, and we just really felt like we had some momentum coming out of last year, even though it didn't end the way we liked it.
I don't want to mention how long you've been in Riderville because I know we get into that, but having said that, it is a big thing for the province of Saskatchewan, and even your players acknowledge not only to what it means to the Saskatchewan people, but the Saskatchewan-born players on your roster, right?
Yeah, I think anytime you go to a Grey Cup, naturally you start to think about the players that were from the province that you're in, and you can actually see it all in all their eyes after the game, what it means when they know that they're going to the Grey Cup, and what it means from their perspective, their family's perspective. But for us, we've always said it as long as I've been here that the fans deserve more championships. They deserve more Grey Cups because they've supported us so well for so long, and that's our way of giving back. And feel like that this is a great opportunity for us to do that.
Lastly, then, for me, what does this team need to do what you've done? Hoist a trophy at the end of the week.
First of all, have a great week of practice. Try to minimize as many distractions as you can, and then just focus in the now. I think our team's done a great job the whole year of just focusing on being 1-0, understanding the task that's at hand, not putting too much pressure on yourself, and just realizing once you get out there, it's just like any other football game. So, but it starts with the preparation.
There it is, Jeremy O'Day. Guys put up with a lot, Sharky.
He does, but he's also, you know what?
I know he signs up for that job,
Yeah, it's part of the drill, but he's also very good. Like, the riders are in the mix. He's doing the right things. He's built this team the way he wants to build it. He's got the right coaching staff there. We've got an attitude and a camaraderie in the dressing room you can't find everywhere. That doesn't come about because your general manager's crappy, right? That's all part of his blueprint of what he's putting together.
Like any place of employment.
Exactly.
Okay, quickly to the text line here. Prairie Land Rentals. Give me a minute and a half. Greg, you don't have to apologize. We just wanted a hot take. It didn't matter if it was for Montreal or wherever. So you're all good there, my friend. Some of the other hot takes that are coming in. Brett Lawther will be a factor. That's from Tim. McLeod Bethel Thompson has to go in and will get pummeled. Bob in Regina. So we've had a few people saying that Davis Alexander is not making the full game. Yeah. More. AJ Ouellette runs over 150 yards.
I like that one.
Colin from Saskatoon, West Side. My hot take, the commish gets booed by the crowd before handing the Grey Cup to the Riders.
Pretty standard for commissioners.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, pretty standard.
Yeah. Keep them coming, 936-6262, Prairie Land Rentals text line. What is your hot take for the game on Sunday? Let's go to break. It's the SportsCage, streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com. All right, a clutch performer. Quickly, I'm going to go here local style. Hockey.
Okay.
Prince Albert Raiders are a wag on.
They're doing well.
14 wins, 1 loss, 3 overtime losses. Second in the Eastern Conference. They won last night again as they do their long swing of the U.S. It was 4-2 in Portland. So, Prince Albert Raiders, Jonas Severson, local boy, doing a good job. That's my clutch performer for Nick Service in Emerald Park, your local Massey Ferguson, Challenger, Rogator, Gleaner, and Fent dealer. You got one, Colson?
I got a couple.
Oh, you got 2?
Oh, he's got a lot.
Pack.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
So, Derrick Henry, clutch performer for officially passing his high school rushing yards career total in the NFL. Only took him 6 more years
Look
than
at
it did
those
in
high school numbers. 12,000. If you're listening on radio, not watching the stream, 12,124 yards rushing in 4 years in high school.
On 1,397 carries.
153 touchdowns in 4 years of high school football.
Do you think some schools tried to offer him a scholarship? Holy smokes.
His family was getting, what do you guys need? Vehicle? Yep. Housing? No problem.
I think there was actually some people who wanted him to switch to linebacker and stuff. And I think that's why he went to Alabama, because Saban was the only one that was going to let him actually just play running back. Which is crazy.
Why would you not let him play running back?
Exactly. Some coaches are just that way. Yeah. So that was my first one. My second one is, this is a kind of a few years late, but I think Eric Francis deserves one for that performance in the media football game before the 95 Grey Cup.
Do you have footage?
We don't.
Oh,
if you didn't hear the Eric Francis bit yesterday on the show, you said you can't stop laughing.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It's too long a story for me to clip into a short reel for our socials, so you just have to go watch the whole thing. But I was trying to, and I couldn't because I was just laughing. It's such a story.
Good job, Kate. Clutch performers. Now back out on the Prairie Land Rentals text line. I know Arash is coming in a second here. It was 60 years ago that the Rider season ended in Winnipeg in the West semifinal with a Lancaster third down pass hitting the goalpost. Trevor Harris hits it again, and Don Hewitt ends up in an insane asylum because of it. That's a real good hot take. No name and number.
No, because he doesn't want Don calling him back.
Hot take from Travis, Montreal, Saskatchewan in both Grey Cup and Vanier Cup with, unfortunately, a Montreal sweep. So Travis is thinking.
No, Travis.
So now there's a lot coming in here. 936-6262. We'll get back. We got Mason Nyhus coming up, but let's get into Arash Madani here.
It's time to go coast to coast with Arash Madani for Smart Investing Solutions. Be smart with your money. Call Brian Gawley at Smart Investing Solutions, 546-2533.
You are the king of the hot takes.
Yeah.
Apparently you're at the Blair Witch Project. If you're watching
I was about to say, I'm just in the back. I'm in the back of an Uber, and suddenly it's na-na-na.
Are you in Winnipeg?
No,
okay.
I'm not.
Hey,
I will be in Regina next week for Vanier Cup, though.
How do you like these SportsCage hats?
Good looking.
I like them.
Yeah. Little Sasky
I like them. I just want to get one of those.
The commish. Well, you're coming in next week. It can maybe make some magic happen here. But I call these the Morgan Wallen hats or the Riley Green. All the good-looking young country singers wear them. So yeah, they did a good job. They're 40.
Why do I have one on?
The brand is 47 because we're old. We want to look cool.
I'm trying.
Yeah, I'm more of a Don Williams, Conway, Twitty guy myself. Arash, what are you hearing from Winnipeg? What give us your hot take? You're the king of the hot takes. Give us your hot take for the game on Sunday.
My hot take is Davis Alexander will not finish the football game. My hot take is that McLeod, Bethel Alexander will.
We got you.
Yeah,
McLeod, Bethel Thompson, not Davis Alexander. My hot take is McLeod, Bethel Thompson will finish the game, and I think keep Montreal in it, and then let's see from there. Because and Barney, I know we touched on a little bit the other day, the hamstring never goes away. The hamstring always remains a lingering thing, and you add icy field, you add everybody knows what's going on with it, you add it's been an issue all year. How is this all going to go away in a week? It won't. That's the reality of the situation. And so, yeah, I just don't see how MBT does not weigh in large in this football game on Sunday.
That actually leads me into the question I want to ask, because Corey Mace is the defensive coordinator as well for the Riders. How do you think he's going to approach this game knowing that they've got a limping quarterback? Does he change something?
It's a good question, Sharky. I'm not sure. If I'm Mace, early on, I don't. Early on, I just want to see what Davis Alexander has. What's his mobility in the pocket? Is he able to run around a little bit? Will he be capable of rolling out? How is Montreal going to deal with him? Are they going to rely on the run game a bunch early in the football game? So I think early on, Mace is like, all right, Alouettes, let's see what you got. And then you start injecting some stuff in Series 3 and 4 and 5 of the football game to really start putting pressure on Alexander and putting pressure on that Alouette defense. Because I tell you what, if Montreal goes to the run game early and the Riders stop the run early, then what?
Yeah. Options get small.
What? Yeah. What makes Noel Thorpe so good?
A bunch of things. I find it's amazing that Noel's been doing this for 20 years, always as a defensive coordinator. Not as a D-line coach, not as a special teams coach, hasn't even dipped or had interest in any of those. I think he's had a little bit of consideration as a head coach. Noel does the matchup game as well as anybody. He brings different pressure looks that you haven't seen before. He understands personnel incredibly well. Like, you look at a guy like Marc-Antoine Dequoy on the back end of that Alouette secondary. Noel has found a way to make him the rover. Remember, in slow pitch, you have the rover who can just run around the entire outfield and does a little bit of everything for you?
Yeah.
Like, Marc-Antoine Dequoy is your Sam linebacker. He's your free safety. He's your strong side halfback, and in a pinch, he can play corner. He can blitz, he can tackle, he can pick off this. And Noel has helped him understand, okay, this is how we're going to attack offenses. This is how we're going to match up against skilled guys. And the other thing that Thorpe does so well is he brings out the best in each player. I'll work on your strengths in the overall system of this defense, and he's done it for 20 years. It's pretty remarkable.
What's going to be needed from the Riders' offense? You talked about Thorpe and what he's going to do. What is the Riders' offense going to do to put Thorpe on his heels?
I mean, first of all, Sharky, they need to catch the football. Okay, I don't say that in jest. Like,
no,
these guys, there were too many drops the other night.
Yep.
And I thought in the West Final, both quarterbacks, their skilled guys let them down. The Lions had receivers dropping the football, their running back dropping the football. What the riders need to do is get into a rhythm. They need to get in sync as the game goes on. They need to get drives going. You can't shoot yourself in the foot by doing that. I'm interested to see. I don't think that Mueller's going to try and take the top off the defense. I don't think this is going to be a scenario where you're going to go, with the deep ball. What Trevor Harris best at? 8-9 yard strikes, timing routes, over the middle, slants, that kind of thing. I think you stick to your strengths. I think you need success on first down. The more 2nd and 6 and less that you have, advantage riders. But ultimately, you can't put the football on the ground, either incompletions or fumbles.
I found it interesting yesterday, and that's right. I think exactly. I think the Riders are. I think the Owls are not going to play as much zone because they know Trevor Harris is going to pick that apart. He's going to find the soft spots, or he's going to try to anyway. They're going to play a lot of man, where I think we are going to get some matchups that we can go over the top on early if they're playing man on us. Well, sure. The other thing that Dave brought up yesterday, which was really interesting, I thought that Harris, he didn't have a lot of zip on his ball early in that game. He was shorting guys. It was really weird. His power level, if we're playing video games, was on low. And then he said he had to get used to the cold and how the ball felt, because the ball in that cold weather, if you ever hold on to a leather football, it's a rock. It's slick. It gets slick. So it's not going to be as cold in Winnipeg. But if he gets used to that ball early and they're playing man defense, I can see him going up top. But the running, for sure, any football, you got to get yards on first down.
Oh, 100%. And I'll tell you this. I think Mark Mueller is a great play caller, really good offensive coordinator, and he's going to be probably after, starting next year, in the conversation about the head coaching cycle. Okay? I want to preface with all this. But the play calling advantage in this game belongs to Jason Moss. Jason Moss, a couple of years ago when the Alouettes won the Grey Cup, called a masterclass of a game. He understands his players. And he's been there before. We always talk about championship experience with players. The poise, the calm, the not doing too much. That goes for how you call a game too. Yeah. I just wonder, what is Mark Mueller's heartbeat going to be during the game? What will his patience level be during the game? All of that stuff. Because it becomes so easy in a championship game. Man, we got to show that gadget play here. Man, we've worked on this all season. We've worked on this all week. We really want to catch them off guard. It's not necessarily about that. It's about sticking to who you are, what your identity is. And I just think in a game like this, when you haven't been there before, like Mueller hasn't, I think that's why it's advantage Moss.
I was going to close with this. I'm curious. I feel that we could see the mind of Mark Mueller and the plays that he's been holding close to his chest vest region come out. Gonna see at least one of them.
Yes, I agree. I think they're gonna do some kind of razzle dazzle.
I know you're busy and all that. We didn't get a chance to talk about Huskies and Queens, but you got a prediction there?
I don't have a prediction. I just want to say this: Anton Ammonroth, the all-conference quarterback for the Huskies, what is he? 22, 23 years old, just diagnosed with lymphoma. You know, teams rally around a player, etc. Here's a young man just at the start of his adult life, playing great football, being part of a team. Who knows where, football and education, everything was taking him. You wish him the best. You always wonder how teams rally around something like that. The Huskies are going to be at home. They talked about beating the Rams, a chance to play in a Vanier Cup, a national championship in their host province. Huge opportunity up there in Saskatoon on Saturday against Queens.
Good way to wrap it up, man. I'm going to be talking Mason Nyhus. I recorded it. We're going to play that in a bit. All right. Travel safe wherever you're going, Arash. We'll catch up next week. Go Riders.
All right, guys. Thanks. Enjoy the game Sunday.
See you later. Coast to Coast with Arash Madani, brought to you by Smart Investing Solutions and Brian Golly. Be smart with your money. Call Brian. Smart Investing Solutions, 546-2533. We'll take a break here. We come back. We are going to talk to Mason Nyhus from up in Saskatoon, getting ready for the Queen's Golden Gales. It's a SportsCage. We are on the home of football in Saskatchewan, 620 CKRM. All right, some hockey in around the area tonight. Male AAA, U18, midget AAA for some of you still out there. Saskatoon Blazers, Regina Pat Canadians. That's going to be a good one. 8 p.m. at the 6 C6. Pilot Butte Storm at Regina Silver Foxes 7:45 and some Prairie Junior Hockey League NHL tonight. Canadian teams. Leafs welcome Los Angeles. Canadians play host to Dallas. Ottawa welcomes Boston. Edmonton is in Columbus. Calgary home to San Jose, and Winnipeg in Seattle. Week 11 of the CFL or Week 11 of the NFL season starts tonight. My Patriots
take the Pats
at home against the Jets.
Take the Pats.
The Jets are heavy underdogs. Let's just say that. SportsCage.com poll: which team is the underdog in the 112th Grey Cup? You can go vote at SportsCage.com. It's for the home of the price match guarantee. Extreme Hockey and Sport in Regina. Whatever your hockey need is, they'll price match. They're local. They support local. Extreme Hockey and Sport. All right, the game on Saturday in Saskatoon is a dandy.
It's a big one.
We want the Huskies. We want Sask's team to be playing in the Vanier Cup in Regina.
I think that'd be outstanding. Yep.
HuskyTickets.com if you want to go to the game. Tickets. Forecast looks plus 3 degrees. It's going to be so nice. Maybe go up the day before, rent a room at the Colonial on 8th Street. Get after it a bit with the fellas or ladies. We need them in. Earlier today, I caught up with Regina boy and coach of the Huskies, Mason Nyhus. All right, U of S coach, Regina boy Mason Nyhus, joining us again here on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline. Mason, before we get to the Hardy Cup last week and then what's ahead for you guys, unfortunate news. Anton Ammonrud, your starting quarterback, diagnosed with lymphoma. Now I'm sure it's a rallying cry for the guys to kind of carry things on with him battling right now.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously super tough news for all the coaches and players. We all love A's. I mean, I played with him for 3 years, coach him. He's my guy. I'm a quarterback coach. He's a quarterback. So obviously super tough week here. But he knows we're all behind him. He's a super tough kid. He's a fighter. So there's no doubt in my mind he'll kick this cancer's ass. And obviously a tough week.
Right on. Yeah, no. And it's awesome to see full support from the province now. It doesn't matter where you're from and just everything behind it. So yeah, everybody's behind him for sure. Okay. Let's go back to that Hardy Cup, man. I gotta ask you, can you give it to me straight? What are you thinking, and relaying to your guys in that fourth quarter down 15?
Yeah, man. Dude, you're just trying to be calm. Like, obviously, I'm a booth guy, so I'm in the booth. So it's me and Dan Houle, one of our other offensive coaches. And, we're saying some choice words up there at times and whatnot. But obviously when I'm on the mic with Jake, our quarterback, through the headset and whatnot, it's just smooth, listen to the sound of my voice, tone, right? Just trying to stick to operation. Because in the first half, we ran the ball pretty effectively. We just didn't finish in the black turf. We finished with field goals, obviously not ideal. But I thought we were doing okay. And then last drive of the first half, we went tempo. We went down. We put up points. We put up a field goal to go into the halftime. And then we were running tempo a little bit, and we were moving the ball pretty quickly. And I thought we were moving the ball great. We just had kind of 2 unforced errors that we can't have moving forward. But fortunate enough, we got out of that hole, and then we kept sticking to it, got the ball moving, and then made some big plays down the stretch and got the job done. So, yeah, no, there's definitely obviously not the happiest of times at times, but there isn't a doubt in our players that they're going to be operational in the fact that they're just going to play every play the exact same way. So I'm really proud of the way the guys battled out of that hole.
Yeah, you were in some heaters as a player. Did you go back to any games when you were in that you guys were down, coming back, and then maybe grabbing some experience or trying to stay calm, like you said?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as a coach, I coached at UBC. We were in the Hardy Cup against U of A, and it was 50 seconds left. We're down 6 points, and they have the ball on our 30-yard line. Like, the game's over, and then they fumble, and we go down and score and win the game with the last play. So, there's games like that, and then obviously as a player, the UTech bull in Montreal stands out to me, the last drive, stuff like that. So, you definitely rely on your experience that, especially in Canadian football, the way the clock system works, you're never out of a game. But with that being said, as a player and coach, it's so different. Like as a player, I found myself way less stressed or anything like that when you're playing because you're just doing. I remember talking to my mom and dad after games, like, oh my goodness, I was freaking out. I'm like, yeah, you're just kind of in the moment. Whereas a coach, it's about the Jimmies and Joes. Like me and Flory are just saying numbers on a page and they have to go execute it. So, man, it really doesn't matter how we feel. It's about how making sure we're really into the guys to stay calm, cool, and collected.
Oh, I bet the juices are flowing. That's so excited. So Laurier was expected to be in here, but of course with U Sport, it's a beautiful thing. There's an upset now. Now we got Queens rolling in. You watch tape, Mason. What do they do defensively? Let's start with that.
Man, they're just super sound. Like they are a well-coached, disciplined, sound football team. Man, they're not extremely complex. They do a lot of different stuff, but they're not extremely complex. I just think they're very good at what they do. They have a really good middle linebacker. He's highly touted in the OUA there, the Ontario Football Conference. They have a really good veteran secondary. Their field corner is a younger guy, year 2, but everyone else is like a 4th, 5th-year cat in the secondary. They're very veteran, played together a long time, and they have a couple guys that can get after the passer. So we're going to have our work cut out for us, but, I mean, I really think we match up well. I think we'll have a good game plan for them, and we're excited for the challenge.
You think you guys will be able to protect well?
I do. I think there's some things we can do in protection-wise to keep Jake upright and finish the throwing motion, give him 3 and a hitch, and I think that's all he needs in regards to our rhythm passing game. But yeah, I think we'll be able to keep him upright, and we'll have time to throw the rock downfield.
I'm sure you watched their offense as well. From what I was reading, they got a couple of running backs to key on.
Yeah, they have. I mean, they're a veteran team. Like this is kind of the year for them to do it. So it's really good for them that they come out of the OUA. They have a lot of 5th-year guys. They have a 5th-year quarterback, a 5th-year running back. Just an older group of dudes that have played together for a long time. But yeah, they pound the rock for sure. I haven't watched too much of their offense, truthfully, but I know they pound the rock and they have some good quarterback play as well.
This is a throwback, I think, to 1989 when
something crazy.
Husky, like big shoulder pads, horse collars, big glasses on young Brian Towers. I remember that because the Huskies never went to the Vanier Cup, so then they beat them and then they went to the Vanier. It's been a while since these two teams have played against each other.
Yeah, man, it's an unknown opponent. Like it's weird. You get out of conference and it's typical like this when you get out of conference because you don't know what you're up against, really. Like when you play the Rams for a 3rd time this season. We played UBC 4 times this year, including our exhibition game. Like, you know their personnel and what's going on inside now, and just like they know us. Whereas you get out of conference, it's kind of a whole new ball game. With that being said, we've been pretty fortunate here at the US to play in out of conference games quite a bit recently. So we've played the Westerns a couple times. We've played Montreal, we've played Laval. But Queens is a completely new, unknown opponent to us. So it's just been a ton of tape, trying to get just comfortability with what you're seeing in personnel.
Okay, this is just a couple of guys now talking at the tap NOD here. I want you to give it to me straight. What are you thinking when you're watching the Riders game last week when they decided to kick that field goal there?
Never a doubt. There's never a doubt. Never a doubt. No, see, like, it's so tough because in game, and I know myself and Coach Floyer, I'm sure we've made decisions where Perry Nyhus in the stands like, what are they thinking? Like, whatever. Like, I'm sure. But with this flow of the game and your belief in sides of the football, it's kind of how those decisions get made, like, truthfully. So it's like, if you think your defense is rolling and you think you trust those guys, I totally get where they're coming from. If you thought your defense is getting torched and you don't trust those guys, it's probably a bad call. So it's really like, it's dependent on personnel and how the flow of the game's going. But clearly, Coach Mace, being a defensive guy, he trusts his guys. Like, that's like, if you're a player, if you're a defensive lineman or a DB in that situation, you got to be like, man, my coach put the ball in my hands there. Like, so hats off to them making the play. But man, obviously in hindsight, if it works, you're the hero. If it doesn't, I'm sure SportsCage phone lines are blowing up. So I mean, good for them though. They got out of there, and I'm really happy for Coach Mason, Coach Mueller, a buddy of mine. Really happy for those guys.
But as a quarterback too, right? Because they get the ball back, but then they go 2-0 and they got to punt it again. So it's like, oh, I don't think this was part of the script. But then Trevor Harris, man, like ice in veins, like Tom Brady, like how with a minute left he marched. He just kind of picked apart that zone.
For sure, he's just like, man, the veteran quarterbacks. He's obviously had a hell of a season with the Riders, obviously. But, man, he's just a veteran quarterback, cool, calm, collected, kind of like we were mentioning. I'm sure the fans sitting in front of their TV here in Mosaic Stadium are freaking out. But there's no doubt in my mind, like, obviously after, there's that release of emotions because you're retaining it inside and you're like, Trevor's pumped up, he's fired up, they just won the game. Like, the release of emotions would be a lot, obviously, but in the moment, you're just operating. So, obviously, just a cool, calm, collected veteran quarterback making plays.
You and Flory have a bet at all for this weekend? He's a former Montreal guy. You got any action on?
Not yet, actually. Not yet. It's funny you mentioned that. One of my favorite stories to tell Coach Flory there is in 2009, obviously, the infamous UC on the last kick, Coach Scott Flory running down the field to get the game-winning field goal. And I'll never forget as a kid, I'm watching with my dad in our living room, and he's wearing his Ron Lancaster jersey, and he gets up and he throws it on the ground. I've never seen my dad mad before. And, like, my dad's a gentle giant. Yeah. I tell Scott that story all the time, and he just cries laughing. So, yeah, we might have to put some action on it this week. It'll be interesting.
Right on. All right, Mason, best of luck, obviously, this weekend. Big because if you guys win, Vanier Cup in your home city, mind you, with the U of S Huskies, but all of Saskatchewan, I'm sure, will be behind you guys.
For sure. I really appreciate it, Barney. Thank you, man.
Okay, right on, buddy. Talk to you soon. Hey, welcome back. Thursday edition. Access Communications, like you said, Sharky is with me for Flooring Superstore. Cash and carry prices that are tough to beat.
Great selection.
I heard they got a big selection.
They do. Huge.
Anything flooring. Okay, we've been asking people on the Prairie Land Rentals text line their hot take for the game on Sunday. We did this last week. It was pretty fun. So lots of people are coming in. I got Jody, Sean, Keegan, and Kim. They all are saying the same thing. It comes down to Brett Lauther. Lots of people are saying for the good.
I don't think it's going to come down to Brett Lauther.
Travis, he had the one about the Montreal sweep with Vanier and
and the Grey Cup.
We don't have that. Rose messaged
Travis.
I don't know what Captain Harvey Ryder said. Don't try to eat at the sushi place by the stadium in Winnipeg. Wouldn't let the pirate in after the game, and the place was empty. They didn't like Ryder fans. If you are going to Winnipeg, I don't like giving free plugs, but these guys are good people. You want to go to a good family restaurant, tavern, the Ribs, Silver Heights on Portage.
You talk about it a lot. You're a big fan.
Go in, belly up to the bar. I'll be there Thursday, Friday next week.
You'll be late. You'll be late for the Grey Cup.
The boy will be playing hockey. I will be at Silver Heights.
Hey, when's the game? Is there a football game this weekend?
Lots of no names, too, and saying McLeod Bethel Thompson will be in the game.
I think that's inevitable.
I don't think that's a stretch.
No, I think that's inevitable. Yeah. At some point.
I'm sticking with we're going to see one of Mark Mueller's trick plays.
Yeah.
Another one that was big. Colson, you said you read one. Do you want to jump in there?
I have to go back and find it now. Mario Alford busts a return TD. Alexander's gone by the second quarter, and Harris puts on a clinic. Riders by 18. That's from JJ.
Lots of Mario Alford, too. No name people texting in. They think we're in for something big on special teams. Now, Rose, thanks for listening, Rose, and texting in the Prairie Land Rentals text
line.
Our
dear friend Rose.
Rose said, Friday is declared Rider Day in the province. Wouldn't it be nice if the city of Regina installed rider flags on the Albert Street Bridge? Seems like a lot of work for one day. Maybe that's just me.
And might already be planned. We don't know because it isn't Friday yet.
Why wouldn't they do that all week?
This is not my department.
Are you sure?
I'm in sales. I'm not in logistics. I don't handle this sort of stuff. I'm not sure what the rules are for changing the flags on the bridge. Who controls that? City? Province?
Flag guy?
Wascana Center? Flag guy. Could be flag guy.
I've seen weirder things in governments where they just have a guy that's worried about the flags.
Yeah, there might be a flag guy.
I don't mind it though, Rose. I think they should have been up there with their lifts on Monday.
Could have done
putting them all in there. Let's celebrate all week, and then next week, hopefully there's some sort of parade.
I hope so too.
I want to move the parade.
I think there's going to be a parade.
I guess it's got to go to the ledge. I guess it's got to go to the ledge. Here's a question, and we got Glenn standing by. I know Glenn's always listening to the show.
Okay.
Didn't there used to be Grey Cup parades like before?
Oh yeah. Like actually, they brought one back here. I think in '95, they had the Grey Cup parade. I know they did.
Yeah, whatever happened to the Grey Cup parade? I know after a team wins, they try and do it. Like they tried to do it in Toronto last year. People are probably honking. Get out of the way. I'm trying to get to work here. Who the hell are the Argonauts?
The Leafs haven't won anything. What are you doing? They had one here in '95. I know they did. I don't know though. They've had
before the game.
Yeah, like it was on Saturday.
People put floats in, and then I'm sure the players and
it was Saturday.
Dignitaries waving.
Yeah. Because I was
flag guy.
I was hungover. I didn't get there. I know that it was not. Flag guy was there. Yeah.
Hot take Perry, where you been? Regina Beach. He said Roland Mulligan, Grey Cup MVP with 2 picks.
I like it. Perry. I like it.
Hot take Perry is.
I got a pick in this for sure.
Slow. All right, you can keep them coming. 936-6262. How this hour is going to shake down. Glen Suitor standing by. We're going to get to that. Dave and Luke. We're going to bring back the fellas from Winnipeg, hopefully from Ryderville.
Did we do hot picks? Did we do hot picks with them?
We're hot takes.
Hot takes.
We're going. You're showing your age. We're doing those hot picks.
When do we get some hot stuff going on?
Kids, 6, 7. And then we're going to do the SJHL report. And we're going to give away these new hats. New SportsCage hats. See them?
Thank God,
Love
Don.
them.
Thank God, Don.
Get to know
older
them.
Than me.
Get to know them. All right, let's get into Glen Suitor.
Time now for press coverage with CFL and Saskatchewan Rough Rider legend Glen Suitor on the Sports Cage. Brought to you by Bronco Plumbing and Heating, where professional service is guaranteed. They'll treat you right. 781-2090.
Hey, Glenn, how about these new SportsCage hats?
Gentlemen, put me in line. Put mine for a new cap. I like those lids, man. Those are sweet.
I'm going to turn mine around. You know why? Because I'm going to be like Funky Tony. It's supposed to be just me and Tony going mountain climbing. Seinfeld.
All right. I'll bring the sandwiches. You like peanut butter, Tony?
Exactly. Step off, George.
Step off.
Hey, Kramer, what are you doing manana? Manana? Nada. Okay, we can go on. Let's get into. Okay, I wanted to start with the Mike. Mike O'Shea is coaching where next year?
Well, I would have said even yesterday, Winnipeg. Like, I can't envision a guy who has built his reputation on, loyalty. And every player knows at this level that you can get cut or that you can be traded or whatever. That's when I say loyalty, I mean the learning and building the relationships with your players so they trust you. And that doesn't mean you can't trade them one day. It just means that, that you're going to make the right decision for them. And that's what Mike O'Shea has tried to build this whole reputation on. So as of yesterday, I was thinking, no way he leaves. And plus, Winnipeg, it's not like they're not making some money. I mean, they sold out every game. They've got some money in the bank that they can match or pay whatever, realist, keep it real. But they can pay O'Shea. So it can't be about that. And then today, I heard more and more about now there's Hamilton in the mix, and Toronto's getting closer, and there's a real possibility. And it's amazing how much the walls talk in Grey Cup City when you just hear all this stuff and nobody wants to be on the record. Nobody's like, whoa, don't bring my name up, but this is what I'm hearing. And oh my goodness. So honestly, right now, as I sit here, Barney, I'm thinking Mike O'Shea may be leaving Winnipeg. Like, it really surprises me. It really does. But I think he may be.
What would be the enticement to go to Toronto? Like, I can't understand it. I'm at a loss for why you would leave Winnipeg with like you say, the culture and everything else that he's built there, and move to the Argonauts where there is no culture.
Where evidently Ryan Dinwiddie wouldn't even return a phone call once he got a new gig.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it's a great question, and that's why I go back to my yesterday, Glenn. And my yesterday, Glenn was saying, no way he leaves Winnipeg to go to Toronto. No way. But the more I hear through the walls, the more I hear that it's getting closer. So, it's a good question, but I'm sure there would have to be structural changes over there for him to make that move. Like is he going to go in with the same scouting staff, the same, assistants, things like that? No, probably not. He's going to want to make all those changes, have a little more control over the roster, things like that. It would have to be stuff like that. And I can't believe it's money, because how can Winnipeg not match whatever they're offering?
So it's a coach and GM role? Is that what we're thinking is going to happen?
What about pinball?
Well,
Smiling pinball.
Pinball really hasn't been the GM. He's the ambassador.
That says in the yearbook, Jim.
Yeah, well, the yearbook's wrong, Jim.
Yeah, I think, if it came down to getting Michael O'Shea and they said the only thing that's left is for pinball to take a different job description, then pinball would do it without hesitation.
Okay, let's get to the game. Have you had a chance to watch any of the runs yet? I know you just got into to Winnipeg. Anything? And then, obviously Davis Alexander, rookie quarterback, hasn't lost a game yet, but that hamstring. And we talked about this on Tuesday a bit, but everybody's focused on it. And we've had people texting in their hot takes today, Glenn. And I would say there's got to be 20 to 30 people are thinking McLeod Bethel Thompson, we are seeing him on Sunday, which I don't think is a stretch.
I don't either. And if it was the sides in Regina when the Argos beat Winnipeg, McLeod Bethel Thompson was the guy who basically was the starter and got him there. And then, Chad Kelly took over in the game, and he was the guy with the miracle drive and the big run to get the win for the Argos. Their defense chipped in there too, but now he may be coming off the bench if that hamstring can't hold up. Here's the update. And these are the walls talking, okay? So I don't know if I'm allowed to say it or not allowed to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. These are the walls talking. He really tested it out today, Davis, and he said it felt great. So,
he's not going to say it feels bad.
You heard it here. I know the walls from Swift Current. Brad and them.
Yeah, no, say that mean? I mean, I can still feel it. It's still there, but it feels better than it did yesterday. I didn't get the specifics because I didn't talk directly to Davis, but the messaging that's happening right now is that he is feeling really good with it. And I read somewhere that Jason Moss said that he watched him in practice and couldn't determine as to whether or not he even had an injury because he was moving around so well. So, having said that, you guys have talked at length about hamstrings, and it's true. Hamstrings, all it takes is a redirect. When you're in the pocket and you feel the pressure and you have to escape quickly, and that sudden moment, that sudden jolt is sometimes the twitch that your muscle, tweaks that injury again and re-injures. So, like a lot of his plays in the final, seeing on the stream right now, rolling out, escaping, maneuvering in the pocket, and I just, with a hamstring, I'm with you guys. I'm not sure he'll be able to finish the game because he's not going to hold back. I'll guarantee you that.
No.
Okay. I talked about, how young he is, hasn't lost, all of that. All your years in the league, covering it, playing, can you equate it? Anybody that was kind of on the same growth plan here, trajectory? Anybody?
Yeah, there's a couple of different aspects to this. One is sort of his immediate success. And the only guy that I can think of, and I don't have his record after 13 games, but the only guy I can think of that had that kind of instant success was Ricky Ray. You know, Ricky Ray in 2002 was the third string quarterback in Edmonton behind Jason Moss. Jason Moss was the starter then. And in 2002, in week 4 or 5, Moss got hurt. Ricky Ray came in and led that team to the Grey Cup championship. Now, they didn't win that year, but he led them there. And then the very next year, he was the MOP of the league. So as far as like really quick success, it didn't happen with Warren Moon. It didn't happen with Doug Flutie or Matt Dunnigan. Those guys had to wait their turn, and they had to have the ups and downs of being a young starter. But and I don't think Ricky Ray's actual overall record matches or comes close. He's not been on those boards, I don't think, that we show the best records. Bo Levi Mitchell, I think, was 11-1, and now Davis is 13-0. But for quick success, but if you're talking about Davis Alexander's demeanor and what that reminds me of, it's a little bit like you remember David Archer back in the day?
Yeah,
throwback.
Okay, so David Archer was also a broadcaster at one point and worked with us at TSN, and he was one of those in-your-face guys, like on the field, talking trash, all of those things. So one time we're in the booth, I'm sitting beside him, we both got the headsets on. The producer down in the truck radios up to Dave, but I could hear him too. He pushed the all call, and he goes up to Dave Archer and he says, "Hey Dave, let's let Glenn talk about the defense because you're a former quarterback." And Dave says, "What do you mean I can't talk about the defense?" And he starts arguing with our producer as a young broadcaster, and the producer kind of half jokingly says, "Hey, don't make me come up there." And Archer as he's taking off his headset, he goes, "Screw that, I'll meet you halfway." And he throws the headset down and walks out like he's going down to fight the guy in the truck. And I thought that is a little bit of the in-your-face type of leadership skills. Davis Alexander isn't going to get in a fight with Jason Moss. I don't mean to make that comparison, but he is that. He's taunting the crowd. He's making a big play and the other players and going after him and just celebrating his butt off. And the team loves it. The coach is okay with it. And I think the fans love it too. So when you're comparing sort of personalities, him and you remember Chris Streveler? Chris a little bit. Chris didn't have the success though. So, but remember Chris in 19?
Yeah.
He was wearing the cowboy hat with the Grey Cup and all of that stuff. And he reminded me a little bit of Davis.
Fur coat.
I thought I was going to go with maybe a Bo Levi Mitchell, but I can't remember his first couple of years. Anyways, you go ahead.
Well, I got a question. You're advising Corey Mace. You're telling Corey Mace what to do with the defense. What do you do with that Rider defense to prepare for Montreal?
Well, first thing is that you do what you do best. This is not the time to kind of all your defense and say, "Hey, we've been a great own team all year." So now you don't want to start doing that. But do what you do best. But when you're watching where Davis is physically, it can change the strategy if I'm Corey Mace. So in other words, I might have wanted to do what we've done all year, which is get great pressure with 4, sometimes only 3, drop back and make those windows very small for quarterback to try and decipher. Don't let them get behind you and take away those windows and close those windows. So that's been something that's worked very well for Corey Mace because he gets good pressure with 4. He doesn't have to blitz. But if Davis Alexander can't move and you can tell that he's staying in the pocket this is not obviously a lot of plays start that way with him in the pocket, but he's reluctant to try. Right now, he doesn't like what he sees, he escapes. If he's in that pocket and doesn't want to escape, is always checking down quickly, then I think Corey Mace can be more aggressive. He can send more blitz. he can worry less about him getting outside of that blitz and then having, a whole field to look at to either run or pass. I think he can get a little more aggressive in the blitz package.
Okay, we only got about a minute and a half here, Suits. I got two questions. One's coming from the chat line. Do you think that Awe hit on Roboselli should have been fined or should be a fine?
That's interesting. That's a good question because I'd have to go back and look at it again, to be honest. I really would because I remember the hit vaguely.
Roboselli got hurt there a bit.
Yeah. And it's a question mark now. I mean, he's been on the, here we go. This is right on the stream. Look at this. Coulson is on it.
It was late.
I don't know. It was a little bit behind, but it was his knee, and it looked accidental. It didn't look like he was deliberately trying to.
Okay, last question for you. Were you ever in a Grey Cup parade before the event?
Never in a Grey Cup parade before the event, but I remember taking my kids to one after, or it was a celebration when BC won, and I took my kids, who are both, by the way, BC Lion fans. Yeah, I don't know. I try.
Well, tough for them. Hey, take a seat. Yeah. Watch us on Sunday.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, you're gonna go to Riderville tonight, aren't you? Make us jealous. I heard there's a Billy Ocean tribute band.
I wish I could, man. I set my rule 17 years ago that I wasn't going to mess around at Grey Cup week. Like, I'm not going to go out. I know me too well. I know that if I go out, we'll start talking about who's playing quarterback and schemes. I mean, we might get beer bottles and set up defenses. And next thing I know, it's 4 a.m. I got a 6:00 a.m. meeting. And, and you can't get, and guys, you can't get that genie back in the bottle when she's out.
Oh, yeah, you can.
No, you can't.
Yeah. And let's.
You can barely find the genie, let alone get it back.
Make sure there's 12 bottles, not 13.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, buddy. Should be a good one. Can't wait to catch up and recap things next week.
Sounds good, guys. Enjoy the week.
See you there. Glen Suitor. Little hotel internet thing there. You never know. That's okay. We're good. Speaking of Winnipeg, let's take a quick break because we got Dave and Luke standing by. We still have the SJHL report. We still have Dante Myers coming up. It's a Sports Cage on Home of the Rider, 620 CKRM. Okay, let's keep this one quick. Hockey in and around the area. Prairie Junior. Pilot Butte is at the Regina Silver Foxes 7:45. Big midget AAA tilt. U18 at the Sixer. Saskatoon Blazers, Regina Pat Canadians 8 p.m. And then Week 11 of the NFL kicks off. Patriots favored by 76 against the Jets this evening. It's for Regina Steelcraft Doors, made in Western Canada for Western Canada. Okay, quickly before we get to the guys, some hot takes here. And people are saying there was a Grey Cup parade in 2013. It was minus 45. Craig's in Palm Springs. He texted in. Awesome, Craig. Send us a picture next time. And then the other one, just lots about running backs or kick returns. Paul and Regina, my hot take is Tommy will break a short yardage situation for a long touchdown. We've had a few of those as well. 936-6262. All right. Western Pizza guest hotline pre-booked for Sunday with Western Pizza. Dave and Luke
guys, we're coming to you.
Are standing by. That's Coulson trying to get their attention in the background.
Hello.
Did you remember minus 45 for a parade? Whoa.
It was cold leading up to Grey Cup 2013. Actual game day was fantastic, but leading up was brutal cold.
Oh, and then Alan is saying, I hear about the hats. I'm listening on the radio. I can't see them. If you can go to Facebook or Instagram, we had them on the story as well. But yeah, they're nice. They're the Morgan Wallen hats. The young country singers.
Yeah, I like them.
Are wearing them. And it's got an SJHL SportsCage Sasky thing. He's listening on the radio, Sharky. That doesn't do
I'm just showing
good.
Everybody else in case they can't see it. Yeah.
And they're 47 brand. They're a nice hat. You got a chance to win one today. So stay tuned. Okay, Luke and Dave. We're down to the last hit
He's not watching
of the day. You guys probably like the hats. Hey, nice sharp SportsCage hat. Dave, turn his mic on. He's chirping.
I did. Yeah, those are sweet. I would take one of those. Yeah, I would take one of those. Those are sweet.
Like it.
All right.
I got a question.
Sure.
everybody has talked today that we've talked to, whether it's Arash, Suitor, or whatever, about the Rider defense stopping Davis Alexander. What does that look like if he's hurt? Let's talk about the Rider offense. What do they bring to the table that Montreal's got to rise to the occasion to? What is Montreal going to have to do to slow the Riders down?
Well, obviously they're going to have to stop the run. Here's the thing. Okay, so I said this last night too. Mm-hmm. There's far too many people talking about this game as if it's the Montreal Alouettes that need to do all the big stuff just to be able to compete in this game. I think these teams are really evenly matched, and I think one of the pieces where the game gets the most interesting is actually Montreal's defense versus our offense, because I think if there's two defenses in the league that are built to stop the Saskatchewan Roughriders, it was Calgary and Montreal. I think Montreal has the ability to pressure up the middle, which for us is when the defensive ends rush around, Trevor Harris steps up and is able to slice you. Right? He's able to kill you. And it's because you're still able to, the way the play's drawn up, right? The launch point is from the pocket, right? And that is where Trevor Harris kills you, when he's able to make throws from the pocket, right, in the second and manageable downs. But Montreal is one of the teams that are going to come straight up the middle. And that's where the problems for us start, because that way, then Trevor Harris has to go to the outsides. And now you're adjusting the launch point. You're also losing you're losing the connection with your offensive line, because now they don't know where you've gone. And I would caution against saying, what does Montreal Alouettes defense have to do to stop the Riders? I think they're built to stop the Riders, and that's what makes this game awesome. I think that they've got a great secondary. Their linebackers are tough. We talk about Sankey, but that Beverett kid, he's just an animal. He can play anywhere on the field. He's like our CJ Rivas, and he's like Antoine Brooks. And their defensive line is a massive strength. So go ahead.
Sorry, I want to ask, do you see them playing a lot of man?
I see them mixing it up a lot. I see them going from man to zone, zone to man. I see them bringing guys up on the line of scrimmage. I see them blitzing from depth, meaning, letting the snap count go. I think that the Montreal Alouettes are going to mix things up. Noel Thorup, again, he's one of the best defensive coordinators in this league, and that's where I'm really excited to see this game play out is Montreal's defense versus Saskatchewan's Roughriders offense. They're going to want to stop AJ Ouellette, obviously, right? But again, the ability to play strong in the interior out is something that the Montreal Alouettes can look favorably upon.
Yeah, and I think the one thing to add on to that, Luke, if I may, is that Travion Tate is back in the lineup at guard. This will be the first time the Montreal Alouettes see him there, which is really, in my mind, shored up that left side of the offensive line for the Riders.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Luke. Sorry, I know we got a little bit of a delay here.
No, I was just saying, Travion Tate was a great addition. Thought he played okay when he got his first reps in 14 weeks last week. So, again, if you're Travion Tate, you just want to keep building.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Absolutely.
Who is the underdog? And I'll pose this to you, Barney, Sharky, and Luke. Who is the underdog in this football game? Because I clearly don't know. On SportsCage.com, you can go ahead and have your say with a vote. Right now, 60% of people say that Montreal are the underdogs in this football game. Who do you think? I
usually lean on the smartest people, and those are the odds makers. So when the odds makers say a team is an underdog for a certain reason, when they dissect it, I usually go with them. When it comes to me in my head, and if I'm playing this in a video game or these are two flag football teams, it's a toss-up. It could be one of the another epic Saskatchewan Montreal matchups. I don't agree with the 4 points. I'd go probably to 2.5.
I also think it's a toss-up. I think the only reason the Montreal Alouettes would be considered an underdog is because of the questions around whether Davis Alexander makes it through the whole game. That's the only reason I think they're underdogs. Otherwise, and to be honest with you, I think that McLeod Bethel Thompson. I mean, he hasn't played in a while. He could end up being an X factor, right? It's not as if they fall off a cliff if McLeod Bethel Thompson comes in. It's just they have to get a little bit more pressure on him and force him into mistakes, because you can't force him into mistakes. But I mean, he's good on the deep ball. That's Montreal wants to hit the deep ball as well, right? So again, this is one of those leagues we talk about it all the time, right, boys? We say you need 2 starting quality quarterbacks in this league to compete for Grey Cups, and both teams in this matchup have 2 starting quality quarterbacks in their depth, the starter and the backup. They're both starting quality guys.
I have Montreal as a slight underdog, but I do think the Riders will come out ahead and by more than 2 at the end. I think they've got a little more swagger to them, a little more presence. And I do think Davis Alexander and McLeod Bethel Thompson are both going to play, and that's going to dictate the change in the game.
Okay, we got about 2 minutes and 50 seconds here. So quick, Dave, we can't take a lot from that last meeting. No Tavon Campbell in the lineup, McLeod Bethel Thompson, 379 yards. When we go back to that, there isn't a lot that we can take from that game, or is there something that you saw?
No, there's definite disappointment and desire for retribution. I talked to Micah Johnson about that yesterday. I said, what do you take from that? And he goes, absolutely nothing. We didn't have our full lineup in. We do now. He goes, it's a motivating factor, the way that outcome came. So that's what you take, is that the Riders are looking for retribution.
Luke, for you, getting into we're going to talk tomorrow as well, but Thursday to Friday, is this where guys are going to be more locked in starting tonight, or is this kind of the last night if the guys want to go check some stuff out? Mike McCullough talked about his first ever Grey Cup. He got food poisoning on the Monday, knock on wood. Crazy. What are guys doing tonight for I know there's the awards ceremony.
Yeah, the award ceremonies, and typically the day 3 is where the guys will probably have an opportunity to get
explore.
Out and explore. Yeah, if there's any night, I think that when we were playing in these Grey Cups, that we use day 3 as sort of the night to get out and about. One of the challenges, I think, for I'm not sure how many people are going to the award ceremony for the Riders, right, whether they're sending the team. I remember when Kerry Joseph was up for most outstanding player, our whole team went. We all went, and man, we were sitting there, we were cheering for him. And when they announced Kerry as the most outstanding player, man, the whole team that was there, we just absolutely blew up, man. And so I'm not sure how many folks are going there, because obviously Yoshi's up for an award. Who else is up for an award, Dave?
Coach Mace, but they're not going to hand that one out tonight. So
I think Coach Mace is the clear-cut favorite for that award as well. But again, I think that tonight is the night where you go out and you explore.
Can you explain this?
50 seconds.
Yeah. Can you explain this coaching award and when they're doing it and why and what came about because of that? Like, how do we get that moved back 3 months?
Well, what I was told was that it's the player awards tonight, celebrating players' achievements. I think it's a natural to have the coach of the year, but that's just my personal opinion. It'll be handed out at the CFL Combine in the spring in Edmonton.
Oh, I have the same opinion.
Coach of the year?
Yeah.
Coach of the year, yeah.
Should be given out tonight with the rest of them.
Weird.
Yeah, what the hell? That is weird.
Weird. It is.
Well,
award for weirdness of the year.
Especially if it's Moss versus Mace, just give it to the winning team's coach. You know what I mean? Like, you're already going to present a most outstanding Canadian player on the thing. Yeah. So and an MVP. Give the coach of the year an award when at the end of that game.
Yeah.
Dang.
I got money on Jamarcus tonight.
Yeah, that's safe. That's safe money. That's safe action there. Money. All right, boys. Stay safe tonight. Have fun. We need a Riderville recap tomorrow. I want to know, yell out if there's a band playing covers. Yell stuff out. Be crazy. Matchbox 20. Roxette.
We'll be there. Right?
Lionel Richie.
We'll be at Riderville tomorrow. That is the plan. We will be with you tomorrow. At Riderville. Tomorrow.
I was hoping for tonight.
Yeah, no.
You're going to be broadcasting there tomorrow.
We'll scout it out tonight, Barney. We'll figure something out. Buddy.
Hey, an old-fashioned flyby. I like it. Veteran move, boys. All right, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks, fellas.
See you guys. Right on. There's Dave and Luke live in Winnipeg. They want the hat. New SportsCage hat. 47. Thanks to the SJHL.
It's a good-looking hat.
We have the SJHL report coming up, brought to you by Chad Reach. When we come back, ticker. Colson, or we just did it.
We did it.
All right.
We're ticked out.
SJHL report coming up, and then Dante Myers and Dave Thomas. It's the Sports Cage on 620 CKRM. All right, time for the SJHL report. Like he said, it's brought to you by Chad Reach, Senior Wealth Advisor, GP Financial Services, Visa Wealth. If you have a company plan, you might just say, things are okay. Things are okay with my company plan. Get a second opinion.
Get a look.
Get a second opinion. That's what Chad and his team, one of the many things that they do. So just give them a ring-a-ding-ding or email. You see the hats right here. I've been wearing them all day. Good bucket. We talked about them.
Yep.
They're sharp. Thanks to the SJHL. Benny, you don't have yours yet. It's here. I have a bag of hats
Sure it is.
for you.
Sure it is, Benny.
These are sharp, though. 47 and then SportsCage logo on the side there.
This is a pretty cool logo on the front, too.
Nice. It's a very Sasky.
Very Sasky.
And these are like 47's a good hat. Kyle McIntyre, SJHL, did a great job.
Way to go, Kyle.
Getting these together. Benny, these will look good on your head because you have that mustache. I call these the Morgan Wallen hats.
I can see that. Following along.
I was telling you about this earlier.
Yeah.
The country singers, the young country singers wear them. Bailey Zimmerman. Guys like that.
They don't wear cowboy hats anymore, do they?
Not a lot of cowboy. Who's the guy that wears a cowboy hat? Jason Aldean?
Yeah.
John Party. Kenny Chesney.
Yeah. Kenny Chesney.
Balding.
Eric Church doesn't.
No. What's his name? I really like Cole Swindell. He doesn't wear cowboy hats. He wears ball caps, but he's really balding as well. Yeah. He needs to rock around these parts. Okay, let's just go with the SJHL report. Let's start with the power rankings. What's jumping out? SJHL power rankings. Go find them at sportscage.com. Benny, take us through the power rankings.
Doing these each and every week, it seems like it's changing all the time. Right now, Humboldt is leading the way. Like the second week in a row, they've been on top. They've won 7 in a row, but they haven't played in almost 2 weeks. So that's they're kind of there by default right now. Weyburn has been maybe up and down from the starts of the season. They had a great start. Kindersley is kind of standing pat. They've played like 8 or 9 shootouts this year already, which is pretty astronomical to start the year. And then you have teams like Nipawin and Flin Flon kind of trying to make their way back to the top echelon. So I think right now in the power rankings, as we get into November here, teams are starting to separate themselves a bit. Like I know maybe the bottom half, the 11th and 12th, but you start the 1 through 4 maybe separating themselves a little bit, and then you have that group between 5 and probably 10 that are kind of jockeying for position right now. So it's been very, very tight, and we're just talking off air. The standings are very, very, very tight throughout the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League. And any given night, if you go on a little bit of a 3-game gamer, you definitely move yourself up the standings for sure.
There are 9 teams within 8 points of each other. That's phenomenal in terms of equality through the league and everybody playing in parity and great chances. Other than Warman and LaRange, everybody's in the mix. Everybody's right there.
No, exactly. And like, there's no freebies on the card. Like the Warmans beat Kindersley, they beat Battleford, they beat Melfort. So it's if you don't play your best in the SJHL on any given night, you're probably not going to come out with 2 points. It's depending who you are, if you're the top team or the 12th team. So that's what makes the SJHL so great, and that's why the crowd support's been outstanding. I think we're over 600 or 700 average for everybody in the league, so that's just outstanding to see.
Nipawin Hawks making some moves.
They did. They made some moves. Like we talked about Nipawin being struggling and being kind of a dumpster fire last couple of years, but they've started to take that next step. They have a record of 10-5-1, and they picked up a guy we're familiar with here in Melville, Brendan Olson, a 20-year-old who's been here for 3 years. Battled injury throughout his junior career a little bit, but had a good year last year. A little bit off to a slower start, but kind of a fresh start, not only for the Millionaires to kind of get some more younger guys to take some elevated roles that can maybe surpass Ole here in Melville, but Brendan comes in with plenty of experience, and he's got 5 goals in the season. I think he's going to add some depth to that Nipawin Hawk organization. They've had also Hudson Gaynor, defenseman from the Drumheller Dragons as well, they added too. So they're starting to make some moves. We talk about trading, and the SJHL trade deadline is always very exciting here when it comes January, but being so tight right now in the standings, who knows what's going to happen here, and who knows what teams is going to want to make moves. But Nipawin is starting to make some moves here. They try to kind of creep themselves and separate themselves from the Flin Flons and Melforts.
What do we know? And I saw you talking about this. SJHL alumni participating in the Spengler. I love the Spengler Cup. It's on my bucket list to go to. Some SJ alumni participating.
Yeah, Josh Kotai, of course, his brother Nick is a goaltender with Humboldt. His brother Riley was a very good player with the Melford Mustangs last year, and he'll be part of the United States Collegiate Selects team, they're called. So that's kind of your college players that are going to make up a team at the Spengler Cup there in Switzerland. And Josh was the SJHL goalie of the year, of course, in 2023, helped them to a championship and then a national silver medal. So great honor for him. He's currently playing down south, the Augustana University in South Dakota, and is having a terrific start to his season. So just kind of feather in his cap for the Alberta product to play at, like you said, a special event that everybody's bucket list is the Spengler Cup. So we're looking forward to seeing what Josh Kotai can do with the Battle for North Star alumni there in Switzerland in December.
The SJHL jumped on the Movember train, and by the way, you're looking really good, Benny. I like the way it's coming in there. A little more wax, you might be able to finish that right off. Talk about the Movember train that the SJHL's jumped on and their support of it.
Yeah, exactly. They've been a part of Movember for the last, since I even started back in 2012. They've always had it because men's health is so important, and men's mental health across the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League with the young men. So they're jumping on the Movember train right now, and I think you can find their link on the SJHL social media pages. And right now, I'm sure the commissioner is going to gloat because his SJHL staff team is leading the way with sales of over $2,000. But each team and each, not only players, but also members of the board of directors in each organization are raising money for Movember. Just a great cause once again to kind of tackle and raise awareness for support for men's health. So you can find that link on the SJHL.ca. And you know what? Looking around some of these players, I know I was with Melville the other day, and I was over in Manitoba with some of the guys. Some of the guys are trying hard, and some guys are actually pretty impressive. Some guys I've been trying for 19 years, and this is what it looks like. And some guys are actually pretty impressive without the just for men and everyththing like they do like that. But I gotta give the boys some props. The mustaches are coming in pretty nicely so far this year.
That's what I need, a little just for men on the bottom here. It's getting a little gray.
Whoever's trailing by a little bit at the last few days, I should jump on there because I'll grow one in like 3 days.
Oh yeah, you can grow one overnight. Yeah.
And then I will look like I own a cantina in Puerto Vallarta. It's awesome. I love it. All right, Benny, give us a quick prediction on the game.
Oh boy, I was thinking about this. I know you're going to ask me this question. I'm going to go 27-17 for the Riders.
10 points.
That's exactly what I had. Yeah.
Hammer the spread. Yeah. And then the one game, going back to the SJ, I should have said this first. I'm kind of going backwards here. Game of the week, I feel Melfort Nipawin.
It is for sure. Yeah, it's the short trek down the highway, and it's Melfort have had their kind of way with Nipawin as of late, but Nipawin definitely a much better hockey club this year, and I think Nipawin's very excited for this showdown here on Friday night. So at the Cage in Nipawin should be a great crowd on hand, and if you want to get out there, I know ice fishing hasn't really started yet. It's been too much nice of weather, but definitely maybe book your hotel for the later on for ice fishing. Come up there, watch some great hockey between the Hawks and Melfort Mustangs at the Cage.
All right,
you could still launch a boat if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure the water's open enough to put the boat in.
Yeah. All right, Benny, we'll get you these hats, and we'll regroup next week. Travel safe.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Cheers, Benny.
Benny Walchuk, SJHL Report is brought to you by Chad Reach, Senior Wealth Advisor, GP Financial and Visa Wealth. Also helping a lot of farmers out there. Chad, do you want another second opinion? You maybe got some kids and you want to sit down with everybody? Chad, from Craik, Saskatchewan. He'll sit down, go through some plans for you or maybe what you're doing. Just get a second set of eyeballs. GPFinancial.ca. Kay, you want one of these hats?
Everybody does.
Right now, there isn't a lot of them. I think we have 45.
That's it.
Maybe, and I think we got like 30. So Benny gets a few. Colson apparently is rocking one now.
This one's stolen.
Curtis apparently wants one. So here they are. I love the SportsCage logo on the side. You want one of these? We're going to give them away. We're going to try and give them away every SJHL Report day. Thanks again, Kyle McIntyre and the SJHL for getting these done. 936-6262. Caller number 4. You got to let us know what your favorite SJHL team is, and you got to be able to pick it up here. We can't ship these things.
Yeah, they're unshippable.
You got to be swinging through Regina or have someone in Regina that can get you this lid. 936-6262. SportsCage, we come back. We're going to hear from Dante Myers, who had a sit down with our Dave Thomas moments ago. We are streaming through our YouTube channel at sportscage.com.
Dante Myers, how nice is it not to have to answer? So how's that ankle feeling?
Honestly, great. You know, we can focus on the main thing, which is riders playing the Alouettes.
Does it seem like a whirlwind since that last catch in the end zone back on Saturday night to advance you to this game to now sitting here getting ready for day one of practice?
Honestly, I just feel like it's been a lot of turn of events. That's what happens when you make it to the dance. You know, the routine's a little different, but you know, we just roll with it.
Is it okay still to look back at that football game and especially those final 63 seconds on that game-winning touchdown drive?
I feel like it's okay if you're looking at it to study. You know, we don't want to live in the past. You know, Coach Mace preaches it. You guys have heard us echoed it. The goal is to go 1-0 every week. You know, so whatever it takes, whether it's looking at film, things that we can learn from last week, or things that we need to look at, different games to improve for this week. That's where the mentality and that's where the mindset is.
Take me inside that final minute and 3 seconds, then, if we're allowed to. Did it seem like a long time? Did it seem like a small amount of time? Was it like in the movies where everything's in slow motion?
Honestly, that's something that we practice. Just situations. You know, Coach Mace, he's a hell of a coach. He puts us in situations to help us prepare and let us be the best player that we can be on the field, you know. So he puts us in positions to where the game is something that we've practiced and now we're prepared for. That's the best way I could put it. And so when we're on that drive, it's a familiar sense. You know, we've all worked this together. We know kind of a sense for the time, spacing, clock, you know, situations, what we're trying to focus for. And so it just feels like we were all in sync.
So the second last play of that drive went to you, a catch that you make when Trevor threads a needle and puts it to you on the 3-yard line. The play comes into you in the huddle. Are you thinking you're going to get that ball, and then the ball does land in your hands? What are you feeling?
Honestly, when you hear certain play calls, there's a probability, you know, but you know what, Trevor, the ball can go anywhere. It's just going to go where it's supposed to be, you know, so you just got to make sure that you're doing your job on that specific play. There's no plays off. But when the ball's in the air, see ball, get ball. You know, that's just trust that Trevor trusted me with, and then I got to trust him that I'm going to go make that play, you know. So that was the play that was required at that time. 2 plays before. You got Sam, you got AJ, you got Tommy the next play. Like, that's just the ball could go anywhere, and it was just my turn.
Your turn, hopefully coming up this weekend here in the Grey Cup. How have you, first of all, fit in to what is happening around you here in Winnipeg?
Honestly, I've leaned on the guys that have been here. You guys know Coach Mason's won, our receiver coach, Coach Quay's won, Tommy's won a championship, you know, so just players that have been here before. Yoshi's been here, you know, so just helping them kind of direct the way and keep your schedule. That's kind of the biggest adjustment, just your routine.
Tell me about Montreal then. 2 very different looking regular season games when you faced them earlier this year. One in Montreal where the defense was lights out, the offense was very efficient. Not so much the second time around. What do you know about Montreal and what do you expect this weekend?
Well, first of all, they're one hell of a team. They're great competitors, and this isn't their first time to the dance. You know, they have a lot of repeat players on that team that have went to that Grey Cup and won it. You know, so we're expecting their best shot. You know, looking at the film, they're not here by chance. They're not here by accident. You know, so we're expecting a good one.
2 questions then for you. Number 1, are the Saskatchewan Roughriders the underdog in this football game?
I wouldn't know if underdogs. I don't know who determines that. But yeah, the second one
is, do you think there'll be a lot of green and white in the stands? I know that a lot of Winnipeggers are campaigning to cheer against the Riders.
I think there'll be a lot of green and white. I think Rider Green travels well. So I'm expecting some of the hometown fans here for sure.
Dante, thanks for this. Enjoy the week and all the best Sunday.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.